That is why you make trades, John Kincade, because I watched the Phillies last night give up 7 runs out of the bullpen. Lazar's, Seth Johnson's, Jordan Romano's, they can all go sit down because I have my new arm coming out of the pen, Johnny. Gunner, hit it. I need to hear it.
Let's hear it.
I need to hear Johan Duran coming out of the bullpen. 45,000 screaming lunatics. I don't know the words yet, Johnny. I need some more time.
Let's sing it.
What
Gunner.
a move last night by the Phillies.
High school Spanish coming back.
See. Johan Duran, acquired by the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday, the 100-plus mile-per-hour fireballer.
Okay, you haven't used the word yet, though. I'm very disappointed in you. You've gone through a minute diatribe. You're all excited. You're bouncing off the walls.
Yes.
You haven't used the important word yet.
Closer.
Yes. Closer. We got a closer. The last pitcher to pitch in a game.
Yep.
Finally. And by the way, what's great, too, is, once again, you didn't have to go all in.
Dude, yesterday's
You didn't have to go all in. So all those reports were fake. Every report that told you, if you don't give up Painter, you're not getting Duran. They were fake. And I told you for at least 2 weeks we've been talking the trade deadline, and I told you what a baseball executive had told me.
Right.
When I was saying, well, what if you had to give up Painter and what? It's like, you're talking too high. That's not the price. You're reading it in the news. You're seeing it on TV. You're hearing it on Sports Talk Radio. That was not going to be the price. And as I get ready for the prices, right? That was not the price.
Yeah.
You would have been over. You would have bid over.
The Phillies did not have to give up Andrew Painter yesterday. Or Justin Crawford, or Aiden Miller.
Yes.
Yesterday, the trade for Johan Duran, again, the 100-mile-an-hour fireballer that comes out of the pen in October for you, the closer for the Philadelphia Phillies. They traded Mick Abel, who we obviously saw at times this season come up with the Phillies. I imagine that you are totally fine with him being traded after one point being a hang up the phone call guy.
For Duran,
Yeah.
I am. And here. If he had went in a deal for Suarez, I would not be. I would not be happy this morning. For a rental player that you had for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I would not be happy. For a closer that you control for the next 2 years, that you potentially get for 3 postseasons, damn right I'm happy.
Yeah, they have control.
I'm happy.
There were some people that still don't understand that somehow yesterday. They also traded Eduardo Tait, who is a catching prospect. I know he is in the top 100 of Major League Baseball. I know that he is in the top 10 for the Philadelphia Phillies. And I know that there are a lot of people worried about a catcher that they never watched.
You have never.
Ever.
You don't watch him. You don't know him. You couldn't pick him out of a police lineup.
No.
But within minutes of the trade, Philadelphia sports Twitter, I saw the experts chiming in going, I can't believe you gave up this guy. Do you think they knew, Andrew, that as I worked the text lines last night, baseball people,
Yeah.
do you know that Tait is expected to be a first baseman?
That's the talk.
Not a catcher. He's expected to transition to first base. So all these people talking about him being a catcher, yeah, he's a catcher now. He's expected to transition to first base. So right on there, the analysis by the experts that have never seen him play, if they bounced into him at the SEPTA terminal, they wouldn't know who he is.
I saw a tweet yesterday.
Don't know who he is.
Here, I sent it to you guys because I just laughed out loud when I read it. Tait was literally going to be a star catcher of our future.
Really?
That absolutely sucks that we traded him off. He should have been untouchable, and we gave him up for a guy who will pitch one inning a few times a week.
Do you know the average age? And by the way, our own Dylan McKinnon hinted at it yesterday. He was a little off because Nerd Boy went to work last night.
Okay.
Do you know the last 10 years, the average catcher when they start that has a 5-year career? This is a dopey one, but I went to ESPN Stats.
I'm guessing like 24, 25.
20. Dude, you're smart. You're smarter than you look. 24.4 when they start their career.
Eduardo
so
Tait.
how old is he?
He's 18, John.
So that means he is not anywhere close to Philadelphia. Your star catcher of the future, if you've got a kid that's going into first grade, they would be going into middle school. They'd be getting ready for middle school.
Yeah.
when he would be ready to take over as the star catcher of the Phillies. If you were on social media yesterday and you were complaining about this deal because of Tait, you are absolutely what's wrong with sports social media. You don't know what you're talking about. You read something, you co-opt it, and then you just start chirping about it. You don't know what you're talking about.
And oh, by the way, for the people that are saying he was going to be the eventual replacement to JT Realmuto.
JT Realmuto will be, 55 by that time?
Yeah, and that, number one. Number two, how did JT Realmuto get to this team? Again, a team that...
A trade, right?
A team that historically has had good catchers, right?
Yes,
it's like the Eagles with tight ends. The Phillies have been very good with catchers. Yeah, they traded for him. You don't need a hometown kid. You don't need a guy that comes up through the system.
That damn Sixto Sanchez really came back and bit us in the ass, too.
That next Pedro Martinez that they traded away for him. This is why I always say, John, and yesterday was a celebratory day for me.
Oh, my gosh.
Proven versus unknown. I know that Johan Duran will go out on the mound as early as this weekend.
He'll be there this weekend.
100 miles per hour for the Phillies to close out a ball game. I know that come October, when he gets the call to come out, hopefully in the ninth inning, John, that he will come out and throw 100 miles per hour and get guys out. I have no idea who Eduardo Tait is. I have no idea what Mick Abel will amount to. Yeah, I saw some good things out of him this year. I also saw some not-so-good things. He's young. He still has a lot to work with. But I know that Johan Duran is a proven can't-miss talent. It's not can't-miss 18-year-old prospect. It's can't-miss grown man in Major League Baseball.
Okay, here's what I need Andrew Salciunas to do. And I'll tell you, Gunnar, you've been here since the inception of the show. Have I ever, said to him, mandated something he has to say?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, I'm mandating right now. I'm taking the glasses off. Haley,
too. Oh my God.
I'm taking the glasses off. I want my partner, Andrew Salciunas, to set the tone. And I absolutely will be setting the tone. I want him every time he mentions Duran to say closer, because I do not want Rob Thompson, who many times thinks he reinvented the game, to talk about, well, now we got a guy who lengthens our bullpen. No, you didn't, Rob. You got one of the best closers in the game. You said this weekend, hopefully closing out a game. No. That is the only time I want to see him, when he's closing out a game. And you are going to set the tone, Andrew. You, as a baseball guy, are going to help set the tone by not using any term for Duran but closer.
Gotcha.
I don't want to hear about him coming out in the seventh inning during the NLCS.
Right, I agree.
So then we can have, we decided that it would be a better option tonight if we had Kerkering close a game. No, we have our closer. Now back it up, Rob, to use a musical term. And please, work your bullpen backwards. We have the answer. Now go back and figure out all the other questions.
You're hanging on to the he adds depth comment, which...
Well, because I can't trust the man.
But he...
Do I have to take off the glasses again? I will.
No, he does add depth by what you just said. You lock him in as a closer. That means everybody else goes back.
But he didn't say
by proxy is lengthening it.
No. I don't want by proxy, because I got to tell you, I credit Rob Thompson for what he does well. This is not something he does well. He doesn't play chess well. Rob Thompson is not a chess master. I mean, I don't trust him to use him right, so I want to see it. So right now, I want every time you use Duran, it's the Phillies closer. From that point on, thank you, Andrew. You can set the tone. You can help, absolutely make sure that this era is perfect. There you go. Thank you.
I got you.
Glasses are back on.
I just want to celebrate that they got him.
We're celebrating, but I want to make sure it's done right. Seriously, I want to make sure it's done right.
Good thing is Dave Dombrowski said yesterday in his press conference that he is the closer, and I imagine that Dave Dombrowski, we've talked about this before, has some say in how the team is run. We've seen it in the playoffs before. All right, so coming up next, speaking of Dave Dombrowski, you will hear from the Phillies president of baseball operations, who spoke after the big trade that we are all celebrating today, unless you are one of these lunatics who say, but Eduardo Tait, he was going to be really good 3 presidents from now. So why this trade? Who is off the table? And did we get a hint at what is next? Dombrowski spoke about all that. You'll hear it next. It's Kincade and Salciunas. Duran is a Philly, man. That's unbelievable. He's a closer, Johnny. It's
Thank
Kincade
you.
and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Great.
The trade for Johan Duran. But also, the deadline is less than 12 hours away, Johnny, and the Phillies cannot be done yet. Not be done yet. Cannot be done yet. We'll talk more about that later on this hour. Eugenio Suarez, off the table. If people are just waking up and didn't check social media yet, he was traded to the Seattle Mariners in the middle of the night.
And we found out they wanted two bats.
Right.
That the Phillies didn't have.
Right.
So that was it.
And so he goes to Seattle, rental player. I would have loved to have seen him because right-handed pop is something this lineup is desperately missing, which hopefully they can address at some point today. But before we get to that, let's react some more to yesterday's trade for Johan Duran, which was just awesome.
When you found out the news, tell me what where were you? What'd you do?
Where was I? Because I immediately did the reaction video.
Were you outside? You looked like you were outside.
Well, I went out back, yeah. I think we just finished bath time with Coop.
Not yours, obviously, because you look like a wet rat.
Yeah, no, I think we just finished bath time, and I think I actually said, hey, Christy, can you take care of the rest of this? I have to go outside.
Oh, okay.
Life was a blur, man. I was so excited.
It was so much fun.
They needed this move desperately because of how bad this bullpen has been all season. Here was Dave Dombrowski talking about the trade itself, and then, of course, you'll hear him talk about how Andrew Painter, despite all the reports, was never on the table.
Well, I mean, we like quite a few closers or quite a few relievers. There weren't very many available as time went on. Some of the other organizations decided to not make some moves, so we just thought he was the best guy out there, really, is what it came that was available to be acquired. A lot of clubs have been talking about if we were going to acquire their closer, that they were asking for Andrew Painter. We decided that we weren't going to trade Andrew in this trade, and so we felt this was a deal that we got a dominant closer for a tough price, two good players, but something that we think where we are makes sense.
A tough price, again, a guy that you're not going to see for 6 years. Who knows what this team even looks like 6 years from now. And Mick Abel, who I don't know. I don't think he's a top end of the rotation guy. We'll see.
No, I think he's a middle rotation guy.
Sure, we'll see how he plays out.
His height may be I think in the 2 to 4 range.
Sure.
If I'm playing the range game.
Sure, depending on the roster he's with, depending on the other pitchers in the rotation.
Right. And he could end up being a 2 sometime, but who knows?
And ultimately, you get a guy, not only how great he is for the rest of this season, but you have him under control. And I had a guy yesterday on social media saying, can't believe they did all that for a rental. Like, do people not pay attention? And that's fine. Like, I get it that we have to pay attention religiously to these baseball teams and trades and rumors. Like, that's just not true. They have him under control for 2 more years.
It's not hard to. It really isn't. It's not hard to pay attention.
No.
And the thing is, to run to social media to share your insights when you didn't even just do basic research before you do it. That's what doesn't make sense. And again, Tait is not expected to be a catcher. By the majority of baseball scouts believe he will be transitioned to a first baseman. So even when you're talking about he's going to be our star catcher, he's going to replace JT. No, JT is going to be long gone.
Yeah.
From this organization before Tait was ever going to be
Tait's
here.
got probably, let's say.
At least 4 years.
Let's say 4 years. Like not because Phillies, it's like 10 years.
Right. Well, he'd
have to be 28 to play for the Phillies.
The Punxsutawney Phillies, but it's more like 10 years.
But maybe for the Twins, it's 4 years. We'll see.
Exactly.
Dombrowski continued, and this may be a little hint as to what to expect today. Because
what you got?
Suarez gets traded in the middle of the night. Suarez, a rental. Take a listen to the preference that Dombrowski is looking for in the players that they could acquire.
That would always be the preference. The difference is the acquisition price. I mean, we're willing to pay a little bit more of the price than we would not have paid this price for a rental. So that's what really is a difference for us. So not only this year, but 2 more years, 2 more seasons after this. So if we were talking a pure rental, we would not have traded these players for that.
And that kind of goes to show you why they did not acquire Eugenio Suarez, because he was a rental. You'd be paying a decent amount for a rental, whereas in this case, he goes, I am willing to pay higher prospects for a guy that I'm going to have for 2.5 more seasons minimum. Who knows? They may extend him. They
could extend him. Right?
They could. Now
he's going to be what? He's going to be 30.
He'll be 30 at the end of this.
He'll be 30 at the end of this. They absolutely could give him another 2 or 3 years.
Right. Now, one thing I will agree with a lot of the Phillies fans that are complaining about the trade yesterday.
What's that? What do you?
Is that who knows if this needed to happen if you extended Carlos Estevez last year, because you traded 2 higher prospects for him for Estevez last year. Now you're trading 2 higher prospects for another arm.
That's a fair assessment, fair argument.
That's the one thing where I'll be like, I hear you.
That's a fair argument.
I can't dispute that, because we're still upset by it. The fact that it got to this point.
Because then I have a feeling you get Suarez. You would have had enough. But then again, no. With what Suarez went for, I don't know that what they took. Yeah. I don't know that you still had the draft capital, the player capital to be able to get what.
Yeah, you may not have, but
I don't think you had it.
But when it comes to just like Duran, like I understand where somebody may say, I'm excited for Duran. It's just a bummer that they had to trade more prospects.
Okay, no, that's fine.
That's the one thing I'll agree
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's very reasonable.
Not saying what's not reasonable is crying over Eduardo Tait. Like, that's not reasonable to me. All right, coming up next, Phillies cannot be done yet. All right, not should not, cannot be done yet. You'll hear more from Dave Dombrowski coming up next, because he said they're not done yet, Johnny. Hear from him, and we'll talk about what has to happen for the Phillies next. Text messages will come later this hour, because we want to hear from you. A lot of fun things to react to, a lot of anxiety to discuss from now until the trade deadline at 6 o'clock. We got you covered here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies get their closer. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. Yes, the Phillies have acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Taiit and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA and 53 strikeouts in 49 innings on the way to 16 saves. His average fastball this season is clocking in at 100.2 miles per hour. We'll see what the Phillies do otherwise today before the trade deadline today at 6 p.m. Dave Dombrowski said they'll try to add a bat.
Well, we're not done. So, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
As for the game yesterday, the Phils lost 9-3 to the White Sox. Nothing to write home about. They're coming home tomorrow, day off today, begin a series with the Tigers tomorrow. The Eagles are back on the practice field today for another day of training camp, and special teams coach Michael Clay is going to speak to the media today at 9:40. This update was also brought to you by Wendy's. With Wendy's breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy, get yours today and start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Morning, Johnny.
Oh, now that's even why you're even more happy.
Dude, that's kind of
so awesome.
The added incentive of me getting out of bed on Thursday mornings is the Wendy's $50 gift cards that we get to give away and the Wendy's sandwiches that I get to eat. Let's give out our first one for the 6 o'clock hour now at 610-206-0975. That's 610-206-0975. What number prospect was Eduardo Tait? I want to do it in honor of him.
Foe.
All right, so caller number 4 to the contest line, 610-206-0975 will win our first of 4 $50 gift cards to Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Got to be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. Yeah, Eduardo Tait, the number 4 prospect that people are shedding tears over, despite never seeing him
But I
play.
read something that said he was going to be the next, the greatest catcher ever.
Lou Marson, Jorge Alfaro. I can give you all these catchers and the Phillies prospects that were the next big one,
Yep.
and they amounted to nothing. Proven versus unknown 1,000 times out of 1,000.
How about this? Much more often than not.
Yeah.
And more importantly, this team is ready to try to win something now. You brought it up the other day. We have it on like the opening of the show. This team wasn't good enough, in my mind, to win a World Series. I still think they need more. But I feel better about their chances to go further in the postseason today than I did yesterday.
Why does this team need more?
Get to work.
Last night's starting lineup for your fighting Phils.
Oh, my gosh.
Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos. All right. Due to Max Kepler's somehow injury during a rain delay, Brandon Marsh had to move up to 5th in the order. Otto Kemp had to bat 6th. Bryson Stott batted 7th. Johan Rojas batted 8th. And because JT had the day off, Marchand batted 9th. You're bottom of the order. Sorry, not bottom. Starts at 5th.
Bottom of the order.
Because Brandon Marsh is 5th.
How about majority of the order?
Marsh, Kemp, Stott, Rojas, Marchand. Now, Marsh did have a home run yesterday, and all those guys did get a hit in the game, despite the Phillies losing.
That's great.
9-3.
They did against a quad A bullpen game against a quad A team. Yeah. The Phillies should be, and no, today's not going to be a day to bring it down, but they should be ashamed with that effort yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible. That's a bullpen game against a terrible team.
Dave Dombrowski did that lineup the biggest favor by acquiring Duran, because once Duran got traded for, I don't think anybody cared about the game against the White Sox at that point.
I scored but it was still okay.
Yeah, you know
I get
what?
you.
I'm not sitting here.
No.
If the trade didn't happen yesterday, we'd be yelling and screaming about that series. The fact that trade happened, we're in a much better place.
Correct.
All right, so Dave Dombrowski continued to speak to the media yesterday. Here he is talking about how the team is not done yet.
Would you see yourself getting any kind of offensive upgrade before 6 p.m. tomorrow?
Well, we're not done. So, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
All right. And we have to see how things play out.
He wasn't going to tell you anything.
Right.
But I'm confident after that move yesterday, I know his mindset.
You know why? Because that was an all-in move. Even though you have him for 2 more years after this season, with the arbitration, I understand that tells you that he literally said they prefer guys under control. But that is a win-now move. Giving up 2 of your top 10 prospects and getting a closer like that tells you that they want to go all in. But you can't go all in with the lineup that we just read to you. So what do they do next? They have to acquire a bat. And again, if you're just tuning in, if you missed it overnight because most of us were sleeping, Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman / DH that we were all kind of really excited about, he gets traded to the Seattle Mariners, as John mentioned, for 2 bats that the Phillies just didn't have. So Suarez goes to Seattle. So that dream is done, but that does not mean that there aren't still bats available.
Sure.
We've been talking about Stephen Kwan for a while. Now, this is a little bit different. He is a left-handed sort of average hitter instead of a guy with pop.
Here's the problem with Stephen Kwan. Okay, it's just what I'm going to tell you. Mm-hmm. So I go to the two Cleveland guys that are the 2 Cleveland writers that have the longest tenure. Starting pitching as part of a deal for Stephen Kwan would have to be part of it.
Okay.
Who are they giving up?
Well, Gene Cabrera is a guy that a lot of people value. He's the 8th prospect for the Phillies.
But the number one guy you gave up yesterday, and if you're not touching Painter, and they said yesterday they're not touching Painter, so you gave up the number 2 option that everybody about baseball is absolutely in agreement. So now, if other people are in on Quan, and by the way, the Mets are. The Mets have better option to give them somebody.
Yeah, the Mets are pretty much in on everybody at this
they
point.
are.
And look, they had a good day yesterday with the relievers that they added.
They did. That would have been a nice. You know what? That would have been a nice consolation prize if you didn't get Duran.
Right. They get Helsley and the sidearmer Rogers. So they had a nice day yesterday. But look, the Phillies are going to have to compete with what the Mets are doing at the trade deadline as well. So we're still all in agreement that they have to add a bat. Like, they have to. This lineup yesterday, I know today's all fun and dandy, and we're going to have a great day reacting to the Duran trade. That lineup yesterday was trash.
Yeah, but are we, though? I mean, it seems like at least last night. Do you think it was like 50-50 on your feet? Because sometimes we have different algorithms.
I think everybody was. I think for the most part, the sane, logical people were having a good time yesterday.
Whoa! The sane, logical people were absolutely having it. But I would say last night my algorithm was at least 50-50, as far as people being this. Well, it doesn't matter. You can get a closer. That's great. Celebrate all you want, but they don't score runs. They're not going to win anything. Look, I understand there's another shoe to drop, and they got to get better. I still say they're not good enough to win a World Series even this morning. But they're better than they were yesterday.
Yeah.
And I celebrate that. That's reason to celebrate. That's reason to get excited. Now, take it one step further.
Right.
Go
Absolutely.
on. Take it one step further.
And look, I'm curious if they do acquire Quan, is Justin Crawford in this deal or not? Because
I would think he'd have to be.
You know, it'd be pretty nice. I don't know. You said they're looking for arms, right?
They do want a starting pitching arm, a young starting pitching arm that does not have to. I'm going to read to you, right? Cleveland, the Cleveland.com or Cleveland Plains dealer. It's connecting through. Does not have to be major league ready right now. A couple years out is fine, but a pitcher with high upside, preferably top 10 type pitching prospect. You got one?
Well,
because you're not giving up. You're not
in
giving
your
up.
top 10. You have one.
Well, no,
Gene
that's
Cabrera.
fine. That's good. Well, then there it is.
Yeah.
Then you got somebody. Now it's going to take more than that. So if you said Cabrera and Crawford, you could probably get that deal done.
You could.
Potentially.
I'm just dreaming, what if Crawford stays? Because Dave Dombrowski, you'll hear him again later on in the show, talked about
That's crafty if he did.
Painter is not the only untouchable. He just didn't mention the names, and we're going to speculate it a little bit. Can you get away with a Crawford center field, Quan left field? You get Kepler the hell out of here.
Oh, my gosh.
And now all of a sudden you have an average hitter, and not average like, oh, man, he's average, like batting average hitter in Quan at the top of the order with Trey in front of Schwarber and Harper and Castellanos. And then you put Crawford at the bottom of the order batting ninth, so there's a little less pressure.
I'm drinking at lunch today. Do you want me to start drinking at 7 a.m.? Because I'll be happy. I'll start toasting at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You just made me smile. Pop some bottles, because I'm ready. I'm ready for that.
I'm curious to see what Dave Dombrowski does.
That would make me really happy. I just wonder whether the Phillies have what it takes to be able to deliver a bat like Quan. But I don't believe he's the only one.
Right.
And
there's other options.
And I don't believe you have to go shop. I don't think you have to shop in that aisle necessarily to help this team be a World Series winner.
There's also your boy Luis Robert Jr. that's out there.
I have nothing for him. Sorry.
All right, now one other thing that
a guy hitting 35 points worse than Marsh. I'm supposed to think that's an upgrade. What the hell?
He's a better outfielder, though.
Well, he is.
So,
but I'm not worried right now. I'm not worried about defense. Defense is not killing this team in the outfield right now. No, it's not.
I think Brandon Marsh is not a good center fielder at all.
Defense is not what's keeping this team from winning a World Series.
Yeah, but you're Mr. It doesn't matter till it matters.
Yeah, but it's not what's keeping this team from winning a World Series. That's all.
Now, one thing we could all agree on, but does Dave Dombrowski agree?
What's that?
So they're not done yet, as you heard in that previous clip. But he was talking about the bats. Here he is talking about more bullpen arms.
Are you still looking for bullpen help? Or
No.
This is it.
No, I mean, somebody put somebody that's so good on here, but between Duran, we've got Robertson coming, and we're pleased with his progress. We have Kirkland from the right-hand side, and then with Strom and Banks. We feel very comfortable where we are. And I'm going to talk to Topper, and he'll talk more about him. He's a legitimate closer, so we feel he'll fit into that role for us.
Okay, here, quick. I'm sorry. This is where I have a problem. He says, the boss says, legitimate closer. He's got a closer. Rob doesn't say closer. That's where I have issue. And I think other people in the fan base have the same problem I do. They could see Rob Thompson screwing up
use him in the sixth inning.
I saw him up a 3-minute egg. Seriously. He could screw up a 3-minute egg, Rob Thompson. And it is a concern. The boss knows how you're supposed to use a weapon like this.
Now, the beginning of that clip when he says, no, we're not acquiring another bullpen arm, I would like it for them to pay attention to who else is still available in the market.
Yeah, if you can supplant one of these tomato cans you got.
Like, I'm sorry. Dave Dombrowski and the scouts, I hear you, that you guys were at the workouts. I'm not sitting here saying, well, we also got David Robertson. I'm not ready to just be like, that's a big addition for us. The guy's been available all season long. He picks the Phillies, which is great. I'd rather it be David Robertson than, I don't know, Joe Ross. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm good with Duran and Robertson as my two additions. Great with Duran.
That is correct.
Robertson, I still have a lot of questions about with his 88-mile-per-hour fastball. I still question that one a lot.
Well, yesterday I heard Mike talking about guys getting by on guile. Well, Duran doesn't get by on guile.
No, he does not.
He gets by on heat. And then you get Alvarado coming back for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, but he won't be around for the playoffs.
I got you, but he can help get you over the hump to get you to where you only have to win 3 series and not 4.
Okay, I got you. All right, coming up next, we will check the text line for the first time this morning. I know not everybody is as jubilant as we are this morning.
Come on now.
You'll also hear from Dave Dombrowski. Are there other players untouchable? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
We're still.
with trades. Could the same be said about all the reporters that said? I think it was Matt Gelb straight up said 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he'll be up in August. Post trade deadline, he's going to be up in August. So that means
this weekend. That means tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to turn on the app, listen to you and Amy, and I'm going to hear that Justin Crawford's coming up for his major league debut.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be fantastic.
So that makes me think Crawford may be off the table,
which means Stephen Kwan's off the table.
We think.
Yeah, he's off the table.
I mean, what if it's Aiden Miller? Like, I don't know.
I don't know who's ponying up where Aiden Miller.
Or what if it's Arun Escobar, who's a 20-year-old,
right?
Second baseman. Where does he fit in with this Phillies team 3-4 years from now? Who knows? Like,
well, hopefully Trey Turner's your second baseman then.
Yeah, and then you acquire another shortstop.
Exactly.
So a guy like Arun Escobar, who once again people will shed tears over if he gets traded after never watching him play.
Right.
If he gets traded,
but I read a blog that said he's the next star infielder.
He's the next Derek Jeter.
The same blog that told you that you can't trade Aiden Miller. The same one that told you that you can't get rid of whoever it is, Sixto Sanchez.
Why win a World Series in 2025 if you can win one in 2032?
Yeah, exactly. Why do that? All right, Gunnar, what are the people saying on the text line? You told us during one of the commercial breaks that it's not all happiness.
Yeah, I mean, people are excited they got Duran, but they're not excited for this team overall. We got Brian in the Northeast checking in saying, great job, we have a closer now, but if the relievers in front of him need to get you there, I have no faith in them. Plus, we still need a right-handed professional hitter or any consistent bat at the deadline.
All right, so the bat needs to happen, and that's why we have been saying
all in agreement here,
over
right?
and over and over again, celebrate Duran. Dave, we need more. Like, I will be greedy. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm sorry to sound greedy. Like, no. Freaking sound greedy. Like, this Phillies lineup yesterday, when Brandon Marsh is batting fifth for you, is atrocious. And the reason why he was batting fifth yesterday was because Max Kepler was a late scratch.
And imagine
so Max Kepler stinks too. Right, exactly.
That texter, though, sounds like the spoiled brat kid. Probably from, a kid who probably has a shore house. And
if that's the Brian that I know, I know Brian.
On Christmas Day, they open up. And they get, I got the brand new Xbox. Though, I was really hoping that. So, did you enjoy your gifts? Yeah, but I really wanted the
PS5
brand new headphones, and I didn't get that.
If that's the Brian that I'm thinking it is, I think you're off.
There are a lot of Brians in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but there's a common Brian from the Northeast that chimes in here.
Okay, well, hopefully Brian's not a spoiled brat.
Now,
this morning.
Now, the other thing. So he mentions the bullpen leading up to Duran.
Okay.
Again, Duran now being your ninth inning guy, period, right? It's done, conversation over.
You think Rob's going to follow that, I hope?
He is the ninth inning guy.
Okay.
Kerkering or Strom, depending on the matchup, will be your seventh and eighth inning guys.
Okay,
we feel pretty good about that.
I feel pretty good about that being the case, too, except if Rob has to be nudged for it. I'd pin a note to Rob. I'd literally pin a note to him before going out if I'm Dave Dombrowski.
So,
Rob, here's your note. In case you get lost.
So that's 7, 8, 9. All right? I have Wheeler. I have Sanchez. I have Suarez, who I can pencil in for 5 minimum, hopefully 6.
With Suarez, with Sanchez and Wheeler, I think you can confidently say 6.
Right. And now all of a sudden,
it's
the 2008 Phillies all over again. The 2008 Phillies, who the rotation, it's actually kind of laughable that rotation won a World Series, but that rotation needed to give Charlie Manuel 6 innings. Like, that was the mandate.
That's all they needed.
Get me 6, because then I have Chad Durbin / J.C. Romero in the 7th inning, depending on the matchup. Now, this is when they didn't have the 3-batter rule, so he could do 1 out and then 2 outs. Then Ryan Madsen, and then Brad Lidge. You're kind of building that right now with this Phillies bullpen. Do I trust Strom in the 9th and Kerkering the 9th? Not so much.
No.
Do I trust him in the 7th and the 8th? Yes.
I feel like 7th and 8th, if you say Strom and Kerkering 7th and 8th, I feel that when you go across Major League Baseball, that's much more where they belong.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like they look out of order. 9th inning, closing out games, you feel like, they're a little out of order there.
Yeah.
Now for the next 2 years,
and by the way,
after this one, you're not worried about that.
Nobody wants to admit it because there's a preconceived notion. Tanner Banks is having a hell of a season.
He is.
He's got a sub-1 whip.
And for what Tanner Banks you expected out of him, it's an unbelievable season.
Yeah.
Now, Lazar and some others.
Yeah, Lazar's been good up until last night,
Yeah, exactly.
but I wasn't about to put all my bread in the basket of
But you know what's
Max
good, though,
Lazar
is
either.
it's always good to let a guy, though, get rocked for like 7 hits in a row.
Well, Rob was reacting on social media like we all were. Maybe that's what it
No,
was.
How do you
just-
let up 6 runs on 24 pitches?
To the White Sox.
He's sitting there. He's just staring. And two, again,
the White Sox.
And it was funny, though, because it's great when John Kruk gives you an honest reaction that John's just, here's Rob Thompson. They go to Rob Thompson in the dugout, and he's just staring. He's just staring. We're all cursing out our TVs, and Rob's just staring off into space.
He was letting him work through it, John.
Yeah, that's great.
Maybe he's trying to get his trade stock up.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that inning goes first batter double, then single, then single, then single, then home run, then single, then single.
And he just
Then they got the trade. Then they take
and he
him out.
stares off into space. I mean, honestly, it's like he's asleep.
Yeah, that was a rough inning for Max Lazar. What else we got on the text line there?
Somebody, it sounds like this. Does John have a burner account? We got somebody checking in saying, I'm getting anxiety that Topper's going to try to make Duran anything but a closer.
You know that there's reason for this.
Right.
It's not something that's like, it's not being made up out of the sky. Rob Thompson's known to he could complicate anything. Rob Thompson's the guy who looks at his GPS, sees the green path, and says, you know what, though? I know a shortcut. I can cut 2 minutes off this trip. I know it. Take this path. And it's going to, I'm telling you, at some point, we're going to come in and be complaining about it.
He's got a reputation. How many times did we talk about like Jalen Carter last year getting personal fouls, even though he may not have done anything? Same with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because they built that reputation. Referees start looking a little bit differently.
Sure.
That's the reaction that people have with Rob Thompson, because he has that reputation.
And if I contribute to that, I do apologize. I'm just sharing what I believe is that, and again, I tell you, Rob Thompson does a lot of things well. He's not a dope. He's not a terrible manager. But as far as managing a game in game, I think he's below average as an in-game manager, and so I think it is one of his deficiencies. So we'll see how he handles this.
Yeah, I imagine he's getting the 9th inning.
I hope so.
Unless he comes into the 8th to get somebody out of a spot.
I hope it's the bat phone, like Commissioner Gordon could call Batman. I hope it's like Dave Dombrowski can call and just say, "Hey Rob, don't screw this up. 9th inning."
Yeah.
Lock the kid down.
Yeah, he's going to be your 9th inning closer.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back to all of our topics that we've discussed so far this morning. Celebrating the trade of Duran. What's next for the Phillies? Because there has to be a next for the Phillies before today's 6 o'clock trade deadline. And did Dave Dombrowski give more of an idea of what they may do today? Something I've been begging for is not a must, according to him. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils make a move. I'm Brendan going with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, the Phillies have acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Tait and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA. He has 53 strikeouts in 49 innings pitched on his way to 16 saves. His average fastball this season is clocking in at 100.2 miles per hour. We'll see if the Phillies make any other moves before today's trade deadline at 6 p.m. today. Dave Dombrowski says they'll try to add a bat.
Well, we're not done. So, I mean, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
As for the game itself, yesterday the Phils lost to the White Sox 9-3. Nothing to write home about. They have a day off today before returning home tomorrow to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers. The Eagles are back on the practice field today for another round of training camp. Special teams coordinator Michael Clay is set to speak to the media this morning at 9:40. This update was brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Got to be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price at participating U.S. Wendy's may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient way to communicate.
Texting, when you want to be heard, but not be heard.
Texting, when the Birds win big, but you're waiting.
than react to the Phillies getting Johan Duran.
Well, he was reacting. You saw it. He was on the group text.
Hold on a second. Let me bust his balls real quick. It's unfair that he's not here, but I'm going to do it. I saw his video on social media. He, too, put out a reaction video, much like I did for the station.
Okay.
And Connor goes, they got my guy.
What?
I'm sorry.
What's he talking about?
Were we not all talking about Duran for weeks? Like, did
everybody.
His guy?
What is he talking about?
Oh, man.
What was he trying to squat on it?
They got my guy.
Like he was the first one to call the most obvious. That's like saying he pulled up to the Wendy's and he said, "Man, I want a Frosty. It's my dessert."
Yeah.
What?
Like when we were talking to NBA draft, Ace Bailey versus VJ Edgecombe, if he wanted to say like, "Oh, they got my guy, the guy that I wanted," VJ Edgecombe, because there was a legitimate debate. Nobody was debating over Johan Duran.
Everybody wanted Duran was the number one guy available.
My guy, get the hell out of here.
Gosh.
All right. We'll get back to the text line here momentarily, but we've obviously been celebrating the trade. If you missed it yesterday, I don't know how you would have missed it. The Phillies acquired Johan Duran, the number one closer that was on the market. I'm not surprised that it happened yesterday because right around like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you started seeing the tweets from like the national baseball reporters like this deal is going to get done today because there was a bidding war yesterday for Duran. Teams did not want to wait until the trade deadline today. They were going to get that done yesterday. So that's when the deal happens. Did the Phillies game even start yet? Because
no, it did not. It was in the, no. It had started.
Okay, so the Phillies game started. Yeah, because the delay. The game got delayed like 2+ hours. So the Phillies acquired Duran. There was a bidding war yesterday. They get their guy. They're not done yet. Dave Dombrowski told us that. They better not be done yet. But he did make it seem like they're done with the bullpen. I really hope they get like one more arm. I don't need it to be the Bednar.
No, it's not going to be Bednar.
But I need a guy that I can trust. And right now, again, this is their word, not mine. I can't trust David Robertson like they do. Like they are like, yeah, man, he's looking really good against AAA batters. I'm not there yet.
By the way, we don't have to do it today because we don't have to play the sound. But I love when Mikey Miss gets to chat with Jason Stark.
Yes.
But, the baseball guy, Andrew Salciunas, who was scoffing at my Bednar comment. If you heard Jason Stark yesterday, he goes, no, the Phillies aren't looking at Bednar because Dombrowski's like, what big game has he ever closed out? That's exactly why they weren't in on Bednar. He's not a closer.
Jason Stark could be wrong.
What big game has he ever closed? He was quoting that Dombrowski. That's what Dombrowski was. That was his point of view.
Dave Dombrowski could be wrong. Look at they had to get Duran because he was wrong.
Yeah. Just saying, though.
Hold on a second. Dave Dombrowski's the god of baseball.
Well, Jason Stark will now start quoting Andrew Salciunas, baseball guy, to all these baseball when he
I would imagine that Jason Stark agrees with me and you that they should have kept Carlos Estevez after trading 2 top prospects for him.
Oh, he does. But the idea that Bednar was a guy, you don't trade for Bednar and break the bank for Bednar because you can't, because he's never closed out a game in his life that meant anything. He's pitching for the Pirates, for God's sakes.
I got you. Duran has 5 whole innings of experience in the playoffs.
By the way, they've been good.
Yeah, they've been really good.
No, I'm talking more of he's still pitching in games to win a division. He's pitching in pennant races. He's pitched in pennant races.
Yeah, 1 year. The Twins are trash.
Come on now.
The Twins have made the playoffs once in the last 5 years. All right, Dave Dombrowski. He said something to the contrary of what I've been begging for, John.
Like what?
Well, take a listen about the side of the plate the hitter could or should be.
If you do need a bat, does it need to be right-handed?
Well, need to be, I can't say it needs to be, but that's more of a preference.
So he says it doesn't need to be, and then that goes back to the Stephen Kwan discussion, right? Because Kwan is a left-handed batter.
Sure.
Now, he's a guy that bats for batting average, so when you and I were talking about this yesterday,
though.
I don't look at Kwan as a left-handed hitter.
And explain to people why, because I got a couple people that were responding to that yesterday on socials. So explain to me why you have that opinion so we can discuss it a little bit.
All right, let's go back to 2010 when the Phillies lost to the San Francisco Giants in the NLCS.
That was a painful year.
Remember Jeremy Affeldt with the Giants?
Yeah.
Left-handed specialist. That guy would come in for Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, left-handed hitters.
Okay.
yes, they bat from the left side just like Stephen Kwan does. But Stephen Kwan doesn't pee himself when there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound.
That is correct.
You know what I mean? Like, there are left-handed specialists that come in to face the left-handed batters. The splits, right? This guy bats 300 against right-handed pitchers, but bats 150 against left-handed pitchers. Kwan does not have those splits. Kwan is a guy that hits for a high batting average, whether it's a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher. So when we talk about a batting lineup that has a lot of left-handed hitters, with Bryce Harper, with Kyle Schwarber, with Brandon Marsh, with Max Kepler, these left-handed bats where we go, all right, if they bring in a left-handed pitcher, they may struggle. Stephen Kwan does not fall into that category of, oh, there's a lefty on the mound, this is going to be a tough day for the lineup. He's a guy that can hit from against both sides of the pitcher mound.
And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I just worry, I guess I'm too traditional, that it's just too lopsided to me, that I'm really hoping we get a couple righty options.
I would look, Kwan is not pop. So I've been begging for a right-handed pop bat. Is there a chance that you could still acquire two guys where one of those guys is a platoon batter? Maybe. Like, there are going to be guys available that hit from the right side that provide some pop. As you're listening to 97.5, The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Busy Breed Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Like, I need middle-of-the-order help. Unless this is the internal thing that Dave Dombrowski has been talking about, like guys like Castellanos need to start providing more. Alec Boehm needs to start providing more when he comes back from his injury. Because if you acquire Kwan, he's at the top of your order, right? It's probably Turner 1, Kwan 2. You could mix and match any way that you want.
You know what I do still find strange, though, is that Dave Dombrowski never misses a chance to slip in a little dig at Nick Castellanos. There's always like, I want a little more out of Nick Castellanos, or Nick Castellanos needs to improve on this, or Nick Castellanos, honestly, in Dave Dombrowski's tenure, Nick Castellanos is down the list of problems. And other guys don't get called out as much as Nick Castellanos does.
Maybe Castellanos.
Maybe it's the price tag.
Maybe it's fine with it.
Maybe it's the price tag.
I think
that could be too.
He personifies everything that goes wrong with this lineup in a single batter. Like, he just chases and goes cold out of nowhere, and then when he's hot, he's as hot as it gets. So maybe that's the reason they pointed him, because he literally is the person of this entire lineup.
I got you, but it's just like, to me, is like, even last offseason when he talked about the season, he talked about Nick Castellanos, and then I think of the Mets series, and I'm like, okay, you don't win a game if you don't have Nick Castellanos.
Oh, yeah.
He's arguably was your first or second best batter. And I'm just like, there's something about, I would be shocked. I might be shocked if Nick Castellanos is a Philly next year. For the last year of his contract.
They've been trying to trade him for 3 years now.
Like, I think that, I do think that there's just a little dig there.
Okay.
Little dig at his, they need more out of him always. And I was like, I'd like to hear some other players' names that they need more out of.
All right, what do we got in the text line, Gunner? It's 610-632-0975 as we continue to react. And do people have a wish list for today's trade deadline, which is now under 11 hours away?
Oh.
We are under 11 hours away as we've reached the 7 o'clock hour to the trade deadline tonight at 6 o'clock. By the way, we have a reaction special tonight on the station, Johnny. The trade deadline special with Kevin Cooney. He'll be on from 6 to 8. So right at the end of the trade deadline, his show starts, and he reacts to everything the Phillies didn't do, and everything that goes on around Major League Baseball today. What do we got, Gunner?
We got a doozy from Steve checking in here saying the Mets bullpen is better. I like the moves the Mets did better yesterday. The Phillies, I'm still worried about even getting to the closer.
Mets bullpen is better.
Mets bullpen is better, and it's not even a question.
Yeah.
It's deeper. It is deeper. They have more options. There are no holes in the Mets bullpen.
Yeah. So
the Mets bullpen is better. The Phillies have the best one answer in the bullpen.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Again, 1 through 6, innings 1 through 6, I'm still riding Phillies.
Yeah.
Even in a series against the Mets, in a series against the Cubs, in a series against the Dodgers, because who knows who the Dodgers have, right? They're dropping like flies in L.A. We just saw Shohei Ohtani. I know they're calling it cramping.
Back stiffness or something like that.
Are they going to want their biggest asset to continue to pitch? Was it just a yesterday thing? Who knows? We'll find out. But all I know is innings 1 through 6, I still side with the Phillies. When we do our betting apps and it's who's winning after 5, I would still bet the Phillies because of the rotation.
Hey, look, the Phillies rotation 1, 2, 3 is so much better. The Mets bullpen I still think is so much better.
Absolutely.
But last fall, the Mets bullpen was so much better. The Phillies rotation was so much better, and it didn't matter. So let's get the bats.
Yeah, let's get the bats. Let's not get them ice cold. All right, let's go to the phones. And then speaking of bats, you may have to take a couple guys off the table, which is unfortunate. Let's go to Jeff in Camden. Let's talk about the trade. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hi,
What's
Jeff.
up, dude? How have you been?
I'm cooling, man. I'm really excited about this closer. He's got some nasty heat, some crazy filth with his movement, and that's just something that you haven't seen at the closer position for a very long time with this team. The setup thing, I have some ideas. I don't want to throw them out, but we'll see what happens with that. With the setup role, if it's going to be just not by setup, by committee, which
It'll be matchup based. Like there might be nights where Strahm will be the setup guy. There's gonna be some nights where Kirkring's gonna be the setup guy. But a trade like this, knowing that you can lock Duran into the 9th, you can now get creative in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings.
Yeah, but I sure miss a Ryan Matson just coming up and never having a chance against that guy.
And you know what's funny?
What's
funny, real quick though, is that Ryan Matson. It's so weird that Ryan Matson never though could then be a closer himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. He was great in that role.
Well, there's guys like that.
Yeah.
Hector Neris could not pitch the 9th inning, but he was a great 8th inning guy. Yeah, there's guys that just, and we'll talk to Ricky Bowe about this, who's joining us later today.
In an hour.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. Ricky Bowe joins us at 7:55. There are some guys, stuff be damned, that in the 9th inning, they just can't handle it. The pressure that comes with the 9th inning. And that's why Connor and I had our opinion on Bednar the other day. Despite it being the Pittsburgh Pirates, the 9th inning's the 9th inning, regardless of who you're pitching for. Oh, man, this song.
I'm telling you, this is crank it up a little bit.
When he's coming out of the pen
this
in
is
October,
going to be so much fun. And this is so much better than that stupid Dancing on My Own.
And with the light show that they're going to have at
it's going to be with
Park,
the new digital light.
Dude.
Oh, this is going to be awesome.
This is going to be ridiculous.
Now you got to learn the words.
Thank you, Minnesota, for this.
Now I have 2 bilingual women in my
yeah, I'll let
stay.
you take care of that.
Wife and daughter are going to have to teach me the words.
I'll let you take care of that.
I know the English version.
All right, coming up next, there is one team off the board, apparently, that you can't trade with. And I'm here to tell you that they are very, very dumb. It impacts the Phillies, but they're also just very, very dumb. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
We want to hear from you.
So text us at 610-6... right-handed pop bat, still something I would love to see the Phillies acquire before today's 6 o'clock MLB trade deadline. But there are two players that I'm guessing you can take off the board. And it's two guys that we've talked about a lot.
So the guess. This is a guess.
Yes, go ahead. You want to take a guess?
No. This is a guess.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm anxious to hear.
Taylor Ward and Joe Adell, the two outfielders from the Los Angeles Angels, right-handed power hitters, both 20-plus home runs. Adell, the center fielder, Ward, the left fielder. That's been a player that Ray Dunn has been coveting since last year.
He's been talking about that when Ray hosts.
Yeah.
He talks about that a lot. He's talked about it with Mikey Miss. I'm fascinated because he wasn't even a guy on my radar.
Yeah, no, it was a good thought by Ray, but unfortunately, the Angels acquired two players yesterday. They acquired two relievers. Luis Garcia, old Philly, as one of the trades, and two legitimate relievers.
I think legitimate.
Yeah, legitimate relievers
that beef up your bullpen.
The Los Angeles Lakers are
Lakers.
The Los Angeles Angels are 3 games under 500. They are 53-56, 4 games back of the Texas Rangers and Mariners, who are tied for the final wild card spot. I am here to tell you right now that the Angels will not be making the playoffs. I'm here to tell you right now.
Are you telling them or are you telling us?
No, I'm telling you guys, but maybe they're listening.
Because you didn't tell them yesterday.
I'm here to tell you right now that the Angels, there's a reason why they're one of the worst franchises in Major League Baseball, or a perennial mid franchise, I should say, because they're not the White Sox, they're not the A's, but they're a perennial mid franchise year in and year out. And they acquired 2 bullpen arms to lie to themselves that they have a chance at something.
But controllable bullpen arms.
Yeah, Garcia's like 35 years old.
I understand, but guys that, right, I think they're controllable, the one I'm seeing here. So, I mean, like, maybe they're thinking about, they saw guys that were available that they could stabilize as one.
Luis Garcia's 38 years
He's
old.
He's 38? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at his shit. That's crazy.
So they're buying as if they're, like, going to try to make a push for the playoffs.
No, but the thing is, when you're 4 games out, I don't know.
So this is the problem.
If I'm an executive and I got a boss, an Artie Moreno, who spends a good amount of money, and I'm 4 games out at the trade deadline, I'm going, wait a minute.
But this is the problem with the extra wild card team. There are teams that will fool themselves into thinking they actually have a shot.
I would agree with you that they're fooling themselves.
And they are fooling themselves with this. By the way, Chafin, the other player they acquired in the trade, Big Country, he's another very good arm. So they bolster their bullpen. They'll probably win more games, but is it worth it? And so now, unfortunately, for our case, this is where I'm a little bit more upset by it. That's 2 right-handed pop bats that are now off the table. Ward was the guy that was more likely to be moved on than Joe Adell.
Correct.
But that's 2 guys that are now just off the board. And they filled a need. Like, Taylor Ward would play left field for this baseball team and bat probably 6th from the right side. And that's now just probably, most likely, I would imagine, off the table if they're making trades like this for those 2 relievers in Garcia and Chafin.
Okay, I think you don't have to be a detective there. That's pretty good stuff on your part, though. That's something that probably other people would overlook.
Yeah, and they're dumb. And they're dumb for it. Not the people overlooking it. The Angels
You're
for
saying
doing
the Angels
it.
are dumb.
The Angels are dumb for doing it.
Okay, that's good.
All right, what do we got on the text line? I want to continue to hear from the people today at 610-632-0975. Your reaction to the trade last night, but what you want the Phillies to do next. Because they are not done yet, according to Dave Dombrowski. They should not be done yet, according to Kincade Salciunas. They better not be done yet, according to Kincade Salciunas. And if they are done, they're not World Series teams, according to Kincade Salciunas.
Not as currently constituted, they are not.
They need to acquire somebody else, and I still expect them to. What do we got on the text line?
Maybe they would be done in the bullpen if it was for this guy, and there's 2 polarizing texts on him. We got Mike in Phoenixville checking in first, saying it sucks we won't have Alvarado in the playoffs. A bullpen with Duran and Alvarado in October would be electric. And then we got Steve checking in also saying, I would personally like to thank Jose Alvarado, or else we wouldn't have made this deal.
So we talked about this before the show. First off, I dream of a day where Alvarado and Duran are your 8th and 9th inning guys, but unfortunately, because Alvarado cheated because he wanted to lose weight, he cheated and took PEDs.
Remember, Dave Dombrowski says it didn't give him any advantage.
Yeah, that's baloney.
Complete nonsense.
Like,
For performance non-enhancing drug.
Jose Alvarado is a great person. We've found that out over the years of him being here. I hate him for what he did, and I imagine there's a lot of bad blood within that locker room. Now, they are going to use him like a running back on the final year of his deal when he is back, when he is once again eligible to pitch for the Phillies, but he is ineligible for the playoffs. It pains me knowing that we could have had that as an 8th and 9th inning thing, but to the texter's point, I don't know if they would have felt the need to have gone as big as Duran if they had Alvarado. They still would have acquired a bullpen arm. But would they have gone as that far is something that we would have to you would have to talk to some birdies to find out.
Okay, how about a birdie just texted me?
Oh, the birdies are always listening.
How about a birdie texted me with something, which is a good one. And it's weird because people on social media have texted me this name. Keep an eye down I-95 for a potential Phillies right-handed bat before the deadline.
Oh, from the Nationals or from the Orioles?
It's got to be Orioles, that's what I would think, or Nationals. So that's all I got.
So
is that Laureano?
Orioles are obviously sellers.
Ramon Laureano?
And that
he's got I saw Laureano's contract because I looked it up last night. He's got a $6.5 million option for next year. I wrote it in my notes. Let me grab it here. But I was just told by somebody who is pretty well connected, say Phillies sniffing down I-95 for their right-handed bat. The only team down I-95 for the Phillies would be the Nationals or the Orioles. And this is a pretty good connection. This is a connection who also told me that my price was too high.
Yeah,
when you talked about getting Duran, said you're barking up you're saying it's too high a price. Sports Talk Radio is telling you it's too high a price. The Phillies are sniffing down I-95 for their right-handed bat. Laureano, controllable.
Yeah.
$6.5 million for an outfield bat next year.
Not bad at
What's
all.
he batting this year?
Yeah, he's like a 260 guy, and he's got 15 home runs.
Okay, right-handed bat in the outfield.
290.
Is he batting 290?
290. He's a career 252 hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking of the back of the baseball
That's
card.
what I'm thinking, too. Okay, that is what I was just told, and it's the same person who told me that the whole Andrew Painter for, Duran thing was nonsense, that there was no truth to that was too high a price.
By the way, Laureano,
take it for what it's worth.
Laureano is a ridiculous glove. Like, I think of him defense before I think of offense. And there's an added bonus to 15 home runs and batting 290.
Okay, so that is where the Phillies are sniffing.
And I look at him as a starter, not like Austin Hayes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in on this.
And they've traded with the Orioles before.
All right.
So that is where the Phillies are reportedly sniffing this morning. Take it for what it's worth.
All right.
But that
Keep on
person's
sniffing,
pretty
Dave. Isn't that what the groundhog says? Keep on sniffing?
Keep on scratching.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now.
Oh, just keep on sniffing.
Keep on scratching.
All right, coming up next, we are obviously very focused on what the Phillies did yesterday and what they could do by 6 o'clock today. What about some of the other contending teams? We check out the busy day for the Mets and other National League teams from yesterday as well. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies get their closer. I'm Brendan going with your Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid with the combo while supplies last. Yes, the Phillies have acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Tait and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA, and he has 53 strikeouts and 49 innings pitched, on his way to 16 saves. His average fastball this season is clocking in at 100.2 miles per hour. We'll see if the Phillies make any other moves before today's trade deadline at 6 p.m. today. As for the game yesterday, the Phils lost 9-3 to the White Sox. They have a day off today before returning home tomorrow to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers. The Eagles are back on the practice field today as they open up training camp for yet another day. Special teams coordinator Michael Michael Clay is set to speak to the media today at 9:40. This update was also brought to you by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through your day. Payday peanut caramel bar. Get to it now. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage in Philadelphia, 97.5.
It's Wendy's Thursday morning. I just devoured my Wendy's breakfast sandwich with the sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese. All on one, man. I love it.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. And Wendy's just always delivers, right? Always hits. This is a morning, too, if you treat yourself a little bit, right?
Yeah, today's a treat yourself morning celebrating the Johan Duran signing.
Have some fun.
Maybe a lot of people treated themselves last night by popping bottles, and they need the nice hangover food today. Who knows?
I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I gotta bring this up. So my buddy Jim, who, weird story, Christy's cousin got married. He was in the wedding party. He works at the ShopRite that I live near.
All right, sure.
So I see him all the time, but I met him years ago at a wedding. I saw him last week and goes, dude, I'm taking off for the trade deadline. Every year he takes off for the MLB trade deadline so that he can just watch like ESPN, MLB Network, listens to Kincade Salciunas. He might be listening right now.
Okay, I hope he's listening. Okay, so he's up all day today.
Yeah.
So the little tasty tidbit that I just shared with everybody, I put it on Twitter, so it's out there, that if you missed it, the Phillies are reportedly sniffing down I-95 for a right-handed bat. That's what I got, because it's very cryptic, and it's somebody well-connected. The same person who assured me, and if you listened to the show last week, assured me that any talk of Andrew Painter to get Duran was absolutely a joke. And I boldly went with it. He said, you don't have to give up Painter to get Duran. That is sports talk radio talking. That's reporters on TV talking. That's not what the price tag is going to be. And it ended up being true. I got to tell you, I was hearing those reports the last couple of days, I was thinking, man, that was wrong information. I was thinking I got some bad information. Ended up being
accurate, man.
Let's hope this information's right, because if it's Laureano, man, he's another one. I'll drive and get him.
Yes, absolutely, dude. I'll
drive and get him
because he shores up.
And for next year.
In the outfield, a corner spot. Like, he is a great outfield. Now, Max Kepler has not been a problem fielding-wise in left field.
No. I think he's done a fine job.
He's done a fine job. So, we rag on Kepler all the time, deservedly so, because of the bat and probably because Connor Thomas thought he was Babe Ruth. So, Kepler, fielding-wise, I don't think it's that big of an improvement, but it is, because Laureano is really good. But now you're also adding the bat. Right side, 15 home runs, 290 batting average. He's a guy that you can bat like 7th in your order, and you're feeling really good about it.
And what's the big word with Dave Dombrowski we've heard? Controllable.
Yes.
$6.5 million for next year. That's a great price.
Yeah, let's play that clip again, Gunner. It's cut 2. Here is Dave Dombrowski following the Duran trade as to why Duran and maybe not some other options, and you'll hear Dombrowski talk about just that.
That would always be the preference. The difference is the acquisition price. I mean, we're willing to pay a little bit more of the price than we would not have paid this price for a rental. So that's what really is a difference for us. So not only this year, but 2 more years, 2 more seasons after this. So if we were talking a pure rental, we would not have traded these players for that.
And of course, he was talking about the amount that they gave up for Duran, Tyit, and Mick Abel. But he values controllable assets, and you would have Laureano if that is the player that we're thinking of for an extra year. Now, the Phillies were not the only team in action yesterday when it came to trades. A lot of moves around Major League Baseball yesterday. One that I was worried would set the market in a horrible way.
Okay.
The Reds traded their 9th highest prospect for Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pittsburgh Pirates, who is a tremendous corner infielder. Like, tremendous. You know how we look at errors, whether there's errors or not. There's other stats.
Yes, because errors doesn't mean a thing, because if you don't touch it, they don't give you
right. And Hayes, I think, is more than double the runs saved category. Like, he's that good of a third baseman. But he's a pencil bat. Like, he's
bad.
He has 16 career home runs.
Oh, wow.
Alec Boehm last year, who we talk about not having the power, had 15 in the season last year.
Okay.
So this guy, over 5 years, has hit 16 home runs.
Okay.
And the Reds traded 2 players, including their 9th highest prospect. And I was like, uh-oh. A top 10 prospect for that?
Right.
I was worried that was going to set the market a little bit, but we'll see how the rest of today plays out. I really like what the Mets did yesterday.
So do I. So do I.
Their rotation is still questionable, but
big time. They need starting pitching today, but so do the Cubs.
But you know how we say the Phillies just need really 9 outs out of the bullpen? The Mets really only need 5 innings out of their rotation because they have a bolstered bullpen. They still have Edwin Diaz, right? Like the Phillies needed a closer because they didn't have one. The Mets still have Edwin Diaz, who's still pitching at a high level.
Would you rather have Diaz or Duran?
Duran.
I'd rather have Duran also.
But they have Diaz now, also Helsley, because they acquired him yesterday.
He's a fantastic 8th-inning option, and they also got another great 8th-inning option.
Yeah, they got Rogers.
Who the Phillies can't hit.
They acquired Tyler Rogers, who is the submariner, who I'm pretty sure has like a 1.8 ERA this year. Like he's been ridiculous 1.80 ERA this year, 2.82 the year before, 3.04 the year before that, 3.57, 2.22. Like this guy has been for his career, every year except for one, he's had an ERA under 4.
And I think the Phillies are a ridiculously bad number against him. The Phillies in their lineup, the players that have faced him, I think are 0 for something.
Yeah, I say it's like 3 for 28.
Like it's terrible. It's a terrible number.
Yeah, he's a great addition. So now they have locked in basically 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys in Rogers, Helsley, and Diaz.
I think their day was every bit as good as the Phillies. Every bit as good. What they did for their team yesterday was every bit as good as what the Phillies did.
Yeah.
So now today, can the Phillies improve the bat?
Yeah, I mean, they have the Phillies have to outduel the Mets when it comes to trades. They just do.
Sure.
Because they're right there in the standings.
No, it's a half game out. So the Mets are the one with the magic number today, not the Phillies.
Right.
So Mets are sitting there with 54, by the way. Going into August, they're going to start August with a magic number of 54. Phillies got to get the magic number back.
Right. So more needs to be done. Now I've been messing around.
Okay, what are you messing around with?
Let's say they get Kwan. All right. Let's go JT 6th.
Okay.
Let's add Laureano.
Wait a minute, you're not getting Laureano and Kwan.
Oh yeah, right.
Dude, you're not getting that. Where do you have Bohm hitting?
Bohm would be behind. I guess Bohm would be ahead of JT.
Hitting? Yes. Bohm's hitting like 280.
All right.
Like 285.
Let's say no Kwan.
No Kwan.
All right, so Turner is your leadoff guy.
By the way, Haley, our TVs went wild behind us.
Do you put Turner there, though, if Kwan's lefty, and then you go lefty, him, Schwarber, and Harper?
Well, again, because Kwan I don't look at as oh my God, 3 straight lefties. And by the way, Schwarber, his splits against lefties have been ridiculous this year. So,
really, you're not worried about those two with the lefty-righty thing.
Right.
Wow.
I got to think how this Laureano
you got to think about that.
Because now all of a sudden, like Laureano, and when Bohm comes back, even though I'm not expecting power from him, I'm just expecting consistency in a lineup.
I got to think Laureano, though, that a lot of teams are in on him.
Well, Crawford's not going to Baltimore for Laureano.
And the thing is, if Dave Dombrowski said that he wasn't the only guy who was untouchable, then Crawford has to be.
I would imagine so,
then if Crawford's the guy who's untouchable, you're not getting Kwan. I'm just telling you right here, you're not getting Kwan. You're not getting Kwan if you're not giving them Painter, you're not giving them Crawford. Aiden Miller is not a headliner in a deal for one of the biggest guys at the trade deadline.
He's the 18th ranked prospect across baseball. Like he's ahead of Crawford right now. Like all of baseball, he's 18th.
Yeah, he's a headliner. Just because he's having a rough year in AAA doesn't mean he's not a headliner. I mean, he's still, again, baseball people still value him at a certain way. All right, coming up next, we are on trade deadline watch for the Phillies and how they can improve the offense. Can the Eagles improve their Super Bowl winning offense? You'll hear from the OC coming up next as we continue to talk about the Phillies. Don't worry, that's not going away anywhere. That comes your way next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5. 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's go to the first caller to 610-206-0975. Caller number 1 will get our second of our 4 $50 Wendy's gift cards. $50 gift card to Wendy's. They have breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Got to be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. The first caller to 610-206-0975 will win our second of our 4 $50 gift cards to Wendy's. Now, before we get to this Eagles stuff, there was a name that popped up again around Major League Baseball. Now, I can't imagine once they get Johan Duran yesterday that the Phillies would still be in the market for Mason Miller. But Mason Miller popped up again yesterday. Ken Rosenthal reporting that the Athletics, in their talks for closer Mason Miller, have focused on teams with top-end young pitching. From the Philadelphia Phillies, the A's asked for Andrew Painter, according to sources briefed on the discussions. If Dave Dombrowski is saying that Andrew Painter was untouchable in that deal and is untouchable moving forward, I imagine that that's not going to happen. Could you imagine if Mason Miller and Johan Duran were in the same bullpen? That would be ridiculous. It's just not happening, but his name is popping back up again. Phillies, Yankees, and Mets among teams involved for Mason Miller, according to Ken Rosenthal. Well, I don't think the Mets are going to go after him after doing all the moves they did yesterday,
after 2 bullpen arms yesterday and what they gave up, no. The Mets want a bat.
Yeah.
The Mets are sniffing the bat, and Stephen Kwan is being
talked about a lot.
A lot with the Mets. Yeah. And the Mets have more to offer. So a little more to offer. So there's I don't know what the Phillies would do there if it's Kwan. I honestly I'm not going to lose any sleep if Kwan is not here. I really would rather see. I'd like a Laureano would make me really happy.
Here's what's. I can hear you now, and I will agree with you. Like the Mets, at the beginning of the season, I remember I was more bullish on the Mets lineup than other people. They get on base, and Kwan gets on base, and if they have guys like Brandon Nimmo and Stephen Kwan at the top of the order to set up Lindor and Alonso and Soto, that's going to be pretty scary. And we're going to talk about how those guys get on base, which we have seen the Phillies in playoff pasts go ice cold and not even get on base, whereas some of those guys don't necessarily have that problem. So that'll be something to be a little worried about if Kwan does go to the
There absolutely would be one that would be something to be concerned with.
Because it would make their team better right away.
Now, a gentleman saying to me here on Twitter, saying I had heard was Ryan O'Hearn of the Orioles.
He's popped up a lot too.
He's a left fielder though. I mean not left-handed. He's left-handed.
Right.
I don't think they're going with another left-hander. I don't think they're looking for another. If they're going to add a bat, it's going to be a right-handed bat.
And I know Dave Dombrowski said there isn't a preference. He said maybe preference is right-handed, but it doesn't have to be a right-handed bat. Let me just pull this up for you just to confirm. Yeah, I'm looking at the splits. So he's hitting .232 against left-handed pitching this year. All of his home runs, he has 13 home runs this year, have been against right-handed pitching. So if you do that, are you penciling him in every day, or is he going to be a platoon player? And are we really winning platooning him with who? Because that means Kepler's gone, right?
Kepler's gone. No, I believe, by the way, I'm telling you right now, I think Kepler's gone, and I think that we're going to see Crawford here if he's not traded. So August 1st is tomorrow. We hear Kepler DFA'd, Crawford here.
Yeah,
that's the corresponding move I would think there. There could be something else. There could be something else going there. What if Painter's coming up tomorrow?
So
he lines up with the 5th starter.
Right, I saw that yesterday because he pitched yesterday. And by the way, he had a good outing yesterday.
Could Painter, about time, we've been waiting for that.
Yep.
Could Painter be coming up and he lines up with the 5th starter? Could he be coming up tomorrow?
He could. We could have a crazy day tomorrow.
And then if he's coming up tomorrow, what's the corresponding move there?
Yeah, you're gonna. What pitchers to make room for? That's what's gonna pop up.
Then another pitcher has to be gone. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of chess pieces.
And by the way, Nola could be up at the 15th.
Yes, exactly.
August 15th is something that they are targeting right now. Could be a busy a couple of days for the Phillies. By the way, Painter, 3 straight pretty good starts. 5 innings, 3 earned runs on the 13th, 6 innings, 2 earned runs on the 24th, and then yesterday's start, 6 1/3, just 1 earned run. So a good couple of starts piling up for Andrew Painter. All right, Eagles for a minute here. You saw something that intrigued you as you are still doing 50 days of therapy for John Kincade when it comes to Kevin Patulo.
Yeah, just trying to get comfortable with the idea of Kevin Patulo. John Clark. By the way, congratulations, John Clark.
Yes.
Into the Temple University Klein College Hall of Fame.
The latest, yep.
Congratulations.
Strathaven legend.
He is a Strathaven legend. He shows that they can teach English at Strathaven. And he sat down with Kevin Patulo. And I can tell you that I really enjoyed what I heard out of Kevin Patulo and John Clark. Let's listen in first one to this one about Hurts and leadership.
I think he is, right? I think he's earned that right, too, and he has a full command of the offense now. Our conversations, him and I in the quarterback room, or just on the side, have been tremendous. So I think our vision is aligned, and we know what we want to do, and he's been able to step up there and speak the voice of the team.
I love the fact, too, that he then follows up with this about their aligned vision, and I think it's going to make you feel really good about where the two of them are on the same page.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just kind of when we're around each other, we just kind of feed off each other. I mean, sometimes even it's, at night he'll shoot me a text, I'll shoot him a text if I'm thinking something, and we'll kind of work through it. And it's been really good. I think that's really important when you're aligned with the quarterback and you guys can push the vision of the offense and really stress it, and everybody knows what we want to do. And it starts right with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback pushing the details of everything, and we get it going the right direction. It'll be good.
Okay, that sounds much different to me, Andrew, than when Brian Johnson took over. That sounds much different to me, just the answers. Jalen Hurts has got a lot of say.
Yeah, now, in fairness, Jalen Hurts is now 5 years into the league.
No question. Right. He's a Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl MVP.
He's been to multiple Super Bowls.
He's got a little cachet now.
Right. But he now has a lot of say in how things are going. And I love that there's that communication. He also says something that he knows about Jalen Hurts.
Knowing him, I think it's probably easier. But like anything, we're all able to adapt, right? As coaches, we all know the roster turns over, and I think players know that the coaching roster turns over. So it's just part of football nowadays, and I think you just got to learn to adapt and do the best you can and let it fly.
Love it.
Yeah, no,
I'm loving it.
It sounds good. And we won't really find out until September 4th, and then the week after that, and then the week after that. But if we're reading into things and listening to things I like that Jalen Hurts is involved in the offense.
I love it because it seems like Jalen is inserting himself.
Good.
Like he's saying, hey, I want the say. I'm being aggressive. I'm having I'm getting my way with things.
Right.
And I'm going to have input. That's a mature
We've talked about him checking into plays. One of the better teams to do it last year.
Yep.
And so maybe maybe we see some up-tempo stuff where Jalen Hurts is making calls at the line of scrimmage. We could see that. And maybe that was part of the hiring process. If you bring in a guy from the outside, he may say, well, no, this is my offense. This is what I want to run. Whereas, and look, that could have still been the correct answer. Or it's Kevin Patulo. Hey, Kevin, we're going to hire you as the OC, but this is going to be a collaborative effort, which includes Jalen Hurts. Maybe that's a part of it.
And it very well could be the part of it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It maybe ends up in the long run. Maybe it is the smartest.
All right, coming up next, what is it like to close in Philadelphia?
Uh-oh.
Will he be the closer?
This guy won't be because he has to close every afternoon on Unfiltered.
That's true. Our man Ricky Patalico is going to join us next to talk about the big move for the Phillies yesterday, what the Phillies could still do. And I just read an article as we were playing that audio from Kevin Patulo. Buster Olney and the team at ESPN, the top 10 most likely trade pieces in Major League Baseball, and they mentioned the teams that are in on those players. I will give those to you as the show continues because a lot of them are linked to the Phillies in the outfield. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies get their closer. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, the Phillies have acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Tait and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA. He has 53 strikeouts in 49 innings and 16 saves on the season. His average fastball this season is clocking in at 100.2 miles per hour. We'll see if the Phillies make any other moves before today's trade deadline at 6 p.m. Dave Dombrowski says they're looking to add a bat.
Well, we're not done. So, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
As for the game itself, yesterday the Phils lost 9-3 to the White Sox. They have a day off today before returning home to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers tomorrow. The Eagles are back on the practice field today for another round of training camp. Special teams coordinator Michael Clay is set to speak to the media at 9:40 this morning. This update was brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying actions per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. I'm Red and Gun, and you're listening to the home of the best birds coverage. 97.
The big trade from last night. Johan Duran comes to the Philadelphia Phillies. Mick Abel goes to Minnesota. And a guy that might be bagging groceries right now because he's 18 years old. I'm just kidding. He's a catcher in the Phillies farm system. Eduardo Tait. He's 18. For crying out loud, the people, oh my God, they gave up too much. You don't even know who he is.
I just got to ask, who's going to catch in 4 years? The average catcher in Major League Baseball the last 10 years starts at 24.4 years of age.
Yeah.
So he is 6 years away. He's 5.5 years away from the major leagues on average. And by the way, he's projected by a lot of Major League scouts to be a first baseman. You don't even know who the kid is.
Yeah, the loudest people have
Stop acting like you know anything about him. My God.
All right, let's go to the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next.
This guy's not bagging groceries.
And you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Listen to him on Unfiltered with our man Bill Colarulo from 2 to 6. Silvana Kelleher as well. Our man Ricky Batalico joins us. Ricky, good morning.
What's up?
Your thoughts immediate on Johan Duran, the fireballer from Minnesota that joins this Phillies bullpen.
I think it's...
Oh, no. Ricky broke up on us.
Yeah, fix your phone, Rick. Come on, 2 to 6 ain't paying you for a better phone line?
It broke up on us. We'll try to get him on.
Are you kidding me? You can't hear me?
Now
now
we
you're
got
back.
you.
Now you're back. It broke up on us.
I'm going to get my coffee for crying out loud.
There you go. We like that. Get the morning coffee. So what do you got?
I'm going to tell you, I think this is a great move. You talk about depth in the lineup, and you want hitters to be good all the way 1 through 7, 1 through 8. Now all of a sudden you picked up depth in your bullpen because, number one, if Rob Thompson doesn't make him the closer, and I'm saying the closer, no more Orion Kirkering, no more Strom, no more Romano, whatever his name is. We don't want him in there. But what it did is it adds depth. When you think about it, you're going to be bringing back Alvarado. I know he's only there for a month and a half, but he's going to be a valuable part, actually, of this bullpen. You're going to bring up David Robertson. You have Strom and Kirkering to set up. And you have a legitimate closer in Durant. So I think it's a great move for the Phillies. I could care less about the prospects. You never know how they're going to pan out.
Ricky, what you just said, though, is the important part to me. I was saying it this morning to Andrew, and he was getting on me a little bit. Do you trust Rob Thompson to use Duran as a traditional closer like has been used in Major League Baseball ad infinitum?
Yes, I do. I think he almost has to in the way, if you were listening to Dave Dombrowski last night, legitimate, he said. He used the word legitimate closer, legitimate back end of the bullpen guy. That tells me that no more of this, hey, let's match up and see how these things go. No. This guy's a closer. That's what they went and got him for. They didn't get him to come into games in the 5th and 6th inning. Absolutely not. I think Rob Thompson, even if he's thinking about not doing it, I think his hands are tied. He has to do it.
Now, I know Duran could pitch more than 1 inning. He just had a 2-inning save the other day. But speaking of Dave Dombrowski, he said yesterday that they are done with the bullpen unless something falls into their lap. Do you agree that the Phillies should be done adding to the bullpen?
Yeah, I do. I think they should have enough. I mean, when you look at the bullpen, Kirkering's been good. Strom's been pretty good this year. And then you add Duran. I think that's a solidified back end of the bullpen. You know, you're going to lose these guys that pitched yesterday aren't going to be in games. And they're certainly not going to be in big-time games in the playoffs when it means something. What you need is 3 or 4 guys out in the bullpen. I think he's hoping a little bit that David Robertson is pretty legit. I haven't seen him pitch yet. I don't know about you guys. But I think they're just looking to add him as a 6th, 7th inning guy, and that kind of solidifies everything. I don't think going out and getting somebody else right now and really depleting your farm system, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're going to get somebody else like a bat, yeah, I could see that happening, but not with another pitcher, no.
Had a pretty good baseball source tell me this morning, Ricky, that the Phillies are sniffing down I-95 for a right-handed bat. What do you feel about the importance of the bat being right-handed if they go and add a bat? Does that matter at all, or is it something that maybe Sports Talk Radio puts too much emphasis on?
I think it does matter because I think let's face it, if you go get another left-handed bat, it's going to be an outfielder most likely, or Eugenio Suarez. And
he's done. And he got traded He got traded last night while you were sleeping.
I didn't see this.
He went to Seattle. He went to Seattle. We went back to Seattle last night while you were sleeping.
That does nothing for me. All right, so if they go out and get a left-handed bat, if you go out and get a left-handed bat, what are you really doing? You're just clogging up your outfield again. I mean, you already have Kepler. You already have Marsh. Rojas is Rojas. I don't even know what role he's playing now, except for defensive purposes, even if that. But why would you want another left-handed bat? Unless you're looking to either bench Marsh or DFA Kepler. That's the only way you go out and get a left-handed bat.
All right, dream with me. Ramon Laureano is the player that we've been thinking about, this source that John got.
I'm dreaming about
down I-95.
This source, by the way, was the same one who told me last week, Ricky, that the Phillies would never have to give up Painter to get Duran. So I feel pretty good about the knowledge that I got.
So he is a tremendous fielder. He's hitting 290 with 15 home runs this year. Let me say this to you. Is this a World Series contending lineup? Turner, Harper, Bohm, whenever Bohm comes back. Schwarber, Castellanos, JT. Laureano, your platoon of Stott/Sosa. And then when Crawford finally gets called up, he's your 9-hole hitter and center fielder.
Yes. I think so because I just said it. Lengthening the lineup is what you really want. You want to be able to turn the lineup over to those guys at the top all the time. And right now, I don't think you could really trust that. I know Marsh is hitting right-handers pretty well right now. He can't hit left-handers. He's hitting just over 190 against left-handers, so he's not going to be the answer. I think you need something that's going to give you some depth in your lineup. And JT's hitting well. If JT's hitting 6th or 7th, that already lengthens your lineup right there.
Yeah.
And it means that you only got to go through maybe 2 hitters to get to the top of the lineup. And if I was Rob Thompson, I'm telling those 2 hitters, go up there, take pitches, make sure you get on base any way you can because you want to flip the lineup. And I think adding Crawford at the bottom, that's like adding another leadoff hitter at the bottom of your lineup, although another lefty. So, I mean, see what I mean? They're going to be overloaded in lefties even if you get Laureano.
Ricky, you've talked about the fact that they will probably move one of the starters to the bullpen and that most likely would be Luzardo come postseason time when I hear you on Unfiltered. Can you talk a little bit more, though, to the audience about how difficult would that potentially be for Luzardo, who starts all year long, to then adjust to a bullpen role? And what potentially would you foresee that bullpen role being?
All right, let's start. Let's say a starter moves. I mean, we've seen it happen with Taijuan Walker this year. It's not an easy job. He's actually making it look pretty easy. It's not that simple. Number one, we used to call the starters country club kids. Okay, it's that simple. They pitched every 5 days. They got to work on their game for 4 days, and then they pitched. Now, for the relievers, it's a whole different mentality. You have to come to the ballpark ready to go every single day, whether you're in that game or not. And that's a change mentally for starters. Number two, physically, it takes a toll on you because you're constantly out there. I mean, I'm saying this, everybody throws every day, but you got to throw with a purpose every day. If you're warming up in the outfield, you're throwing with a purpose. You're working on things on that given day. It's not like every third day you go out, throw a bullpen, and you work on your mechanics. Things could go haywire really quickly, which is why when I put Luzardo in the bullpen, I'm not really putting him in high-leverage situations. And I'm certainly not putting him in a game with runners on base, especially scoring position, because we know what he's done from the stretch this year. It hasn't been pretty, and I think that's one thing that you have to really kind of put in the back of your mind. If I throw him out in the bullpen, I cannot bring him in with runners on base. So I think, number one, he's a clean inning guy, and I think a 3+ run guy. And what I mean by that is that if the Phillies are up 3, down 3, that's when I think you use him. I don't think high leverage situations are really in the cards for him.
Ricky, you mentioned Jose Alvarado when you first came on. You're going to get him for the stretch run. How do they use him? I keep on saying use him like the running back in the final year of the deal, where unfortunately NFL teams run them into the ground and then they don't re-sign him. Could you see the Phillies saying, hey, Jose, you did this to us. You did this to yourself. We're going to use you as much as we can before the playoffs start?
I think they're going to. And I think it would be a smart move for them. Why not? I mean, he's got an option next year with the Phillies. I don't think the Phillies are going to pick it up after this season. But when you look at it, you need that left-handed arm. And if you have to use him 4 or 5 times a week, well, tough. You're going to go in there 4 or 5 times a week. You're going to do your job. You missed us for 90, or what was it, 90 games, whatever he was, 80-something games.
80 game, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that's got to make up time. And the only way to make up time, put him into situations that you need him, and then use him as much as you want, because you only have him for a month and a half.
Ricky, I don't know if you talked about this on Unfiltered, but take us behind the curtain a little bit. Do you believe he is going to be welcomed with open arms back into that clubhouse when he shows back up?
Yeah, I don't think the players are. Yeah, I do. I don't think the players really care all that much. Are they going to be a little, what the heck happened? Tell us. They want the truth is what they're going to want. But I don't think they're going to shun him by any stretch of the imagination. I think they know he's a valuable piece if his arm is strong and he's strong coming in, which is a bigger question mark. Apparently he was at some chicken place the other day, so he has been around. And I will say this much. I think they will want the answers, and then they'll be like, we need you. It's time for you to show up for us. I think they will put that type of pressure on him.
Yeah, and then as soon as they start the playoffs, they cannot be friends anymore because he won't be available for them. Ricky, we'll be listening to Unfiltered. You guys have the lead up to the trade deadline, 6 o'clock. Today's going to be a great show for you guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Have fun, man.
Man, I hope we're hitting that sounder.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's do it all day long. Thanks, Rick.
There's Ricky Bowe on the Comcast Business Hotline from Unfiltered. Listen to them starting at 2 o'clock with Bill Colarulo as well as Silvana Kelleher as they lead you up to the trade deadline 6 o'clock tonight. And then we have the trade deadline special with Kevin Cooney from 6 to 8, all here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Coming up next, we'll check a text message. Yes. Now pitching for the Phillies, Johan Duran.
Now pitching for the Phillies, Johan Duran.
Dude, this place will just...
it's going to be
this place is
great.
going to go nuts, man. And this is better than Timmy Trumpets. Like, let's go. Screw you, Edwin Diaz. Hate the Mets. Hope you guys lose every game ever. All right, coming up next, today's headlines with Brendan Gunn's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, my name is Phil E., and for most of my sports fan life, I've been
Ranked the top 10 most likely candidates to be traded, the players to be traded away before today's 6 o'clock trade deadline. He mentions all the teams where they would be best fits or based off his reporting.
Is this after the moves yesterday?
Yes, yeah. This is this morning. This is today. Good. Here are the players that are remaining. Now, one random report I saw from Bob Nightingale of USA Today, literally 2 minutes ago, the Texas Rangers, who that was one of those teams where when Dave Dombrowski said 10 days after the All-Star break could change how people view their teams, the Rangers went on a tear. I think they've won like 10 of their last 12 games, and now all of a sudden they're considered buyers. The Rangers, and this is when having like good ownership helps, not so much in Texas, despite them winning the World Series a couple years ago. The Rangers, who are under financial constraints, are hoping to clear payroll today while bringing in their bullpen arms.
Why are they clearing payroll?
Because bullpen is more of a need than certain areas of the team, and so they're going to try to clear some payroll. I mean, they have some expensive contracts.
They do. Yeah, they do. But I'm shocked that they're in any kind of – because they draw well.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they have any kind of payroll issues. Wow.
So that sucks.
That's terrible.
When you hear that you're a buyer at the deadline, but you have to sell in order to buy, that kind of sucks for a baseball team.
Dallas-Fort Worth's a major market. You just won the World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so keep an eye, because who knows? Does that mean a guy like a Dallas Garcia? I doubt that he's going to be on the move, but he's a guy that's getting paid a decent amount of money. It would be interesting to see what Texas ends up doing.
They're averaging $13,000 a game less than the Phillies.
How about that? Well,
that's not good.
That's why they need to shed salary while
they won
also
the World
acquiring.
Series a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
that's
crazy,
bad.
man.
That's bad.
All right, let's get a text message in real quick because I know we've been very busy. What is a text that we got, Gunner, and then we'll get the headline.
Yeah, we got Jay in Westchester checking in, saying, I have faith they go out there and get Stephen Kwan today. If he goes out there and does that, this will be the deadline where we know Dave Dombrowski going forward is Howie Dombrowski.
Sure. He made mistakes in the past, and he cleaned them up. So, sure. We'll see if it's Kwan. We'll see if it's Laureano. We'll see if it's...
I don't know how you're getting Kwan because the answer is, again, Dave Dombrowski said yesterday that that Andrew Painter was not the only untouchable. There were other players that he said are not tradable.
Yeah.
So who's it got to be? So then it means to me, most likely, we're talking Miller and we're talking Crawford.
By the way, we also don't even know if Kwan is on the move yet. That's still...
And we don't know, right, exactly.
We don't know yet.
And that's not the Indians' business, by the way. The Indians don't tend to be in the business of getting rid of affordable, really top talent that's under control. That's not how they usually do business.
All right, it is time now for today's headlines with Brendan Gunn.
Today's headlines with the one and only Brendan Gunn.
What do we got, Gunner?
Yes, it's brought to us by the one and only Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. And we're talking a lot about the trade deadline today. And, it's usually a gamble going out there making some trades for prospects. You hope you get a good return. Something else that was a gamble that came out yesterday was one Gilbert Arenas. He was arrested in connection with a federal indictment for allegedly hosting illegal high-stakes poker games at his Encino, California mansion, according to a release from the United States Attorney's Office. And he's been going back and forth for years with Kwame Brown. Well, turns out Kwame Brown's got the latest laugh on it.
Doing all that bipping and bapping, he a drunk, he a this, he a that. Talking about my mama, my family. And I told people one thing. I said, this is a stupid motherfucker. He gonna self-sabotage. He's a dummy. And look at this stupid motherfucker.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
What's insane is just yesterday we mentioned Gilbert Arenas on this show.
Yes, as the drinker, right?
We were talking about, because there was the story that there was a Braves pitcher that would take shots before each outing. DeCecco, who was with us, said, didn't there somebody in the NBA do that? Was it Gilbert Arenas? I said, I don't know about that, but I do know that he wanted to shoot somebody.
Well, he had the guns.
But it's insane that we talked about Gilbert Arenas in passing, random.
Yes.
And then he's in the news, federal news yesterday.
And then we have the other one, too. There's another story out there that it's not in about the cheating the casinos, too.
Oh,
not with him.
Morris,
Yeah, the Morris
with Marcus Morris.
That's not good.
Yeah.
False checks. That's crazy.
That's bad.
Key to the city, Marcus Morris.
You're in big trouble.
Oh, man. All right, moving on. We also got some news a couple of weeks ago from Scotty Scheffler, how golf is not fulfilling for him. Well, the antithesis to that is one Tom Brady. And he took exception with something Scotty Scheffler said, in fact, that. And he said at a press conference yesterday for some, business he was speaking at, he says, Scotty said he'd rather be a better father and husband than a better golfer. And my question to that, why are those two things mutually exclusive? For instance, I think part of being a great father is being a great example for your kids. And for me, I chose to do that by playing football.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's. I get what Scotty Scheffler is trying to say. Like, I'd rather be a better father than a better golfer. Like, I'd rather be the best dad in the world than be the best radio host.
But that doesn't.
It doesn't.
You can do both.
Right.
You can do both.
Yeah. So Brady's right there.
Your job is your job. By the way, though, Tom, I would suggest that the thing you don't do though is sign up for a Comedy Central roast that paid you $10 million. Go get a paycheck in order to let the roasters rip the mother of your children.
Yeah.
That's sort of a bad father.
Also, I don't think Tom Brady probably can speak on anything because he got divorced. Like, I mean, people get divorced all the time.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean
my parents are divorced.
That doesn't mean if you're a good father or a bad father.
100%.
And when there's a yoga instructor involved that,
sometimes being devoted to the craft can lead to negatives in other directions.
It can, exactly.
Not against divorced people. My parents are divorced. Come on now. And then something off topic, out of sports world. High Noon had to come out yesterday.
I heard about this.
Because they accidentally sent out a bunch of cans in Celsius so people could be picking up Celsius cans at their local whatever. And it could be alcohol.
Well, they didn't do it. It got
the company
It got canned in the wrong can. So there are...
Well, it's their company that cans it.
Right. Okay. So,
I mean...
But in case people don't know, the Celsius energy drink is under the same ownership as High Noons.
Right.
And they accidentally poured High Noons into Celsius. Now, this is going to lead to interesting potential lawsuits.
Hey.
Guys recovering alcoholics. What about a guy that gets pulled over thinking he's drinking a Celsius, but
you'd have
it's
to
a High Noon?
You'd have to have a Celsius in your car to show it, like that I had. You'd have to have the proof that you had a Celsius.
Right.
And now my daughter drinks Celsius and High Noon.
How much did you have to drink,
So I'm hoping
Just 9 Celsius.
I'm hoping she doesn't have like a client call today and she'll start her day with a Celsius sometimes. I'm telling you now.
9 Celsius.
Let me tell you about it. My Celsius is just kicking in.
I need this segment to end now.
There we go.
Because we have more rumors, Johnny.
Oh!
All right, coming up next.
I heard a rumor.
We'll go through this ESPN article.
Uh-oh.
As we're now under 10 hours away from the trade deadline, Johnny.
Uh-oh.
Not only
I love rumor.
do we have this ESPN article that I've been hinting at, a baseball reporter just mentioned a team that is, quote, wide open for business.
Uh-oh.
And the Phillies have expressed interest in the players on that team. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies go out and get their closer. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, the Phillies have acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Taiit and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA. He has 53 strikeouts in 49 innings and 16 saves on the season. His average fastball this season is clocking in at 100.2 miles per hour. We'll see if the Phillies make any other moves today prior to today's trade deadline at 6 p.m. Dave Dombrowski says they're going to try to add a bat, but it may not be possible.
Well, we're not done. So, I mean, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
As for the game yesterday, the Phils lost 9-3 to the White Sox. They have a day off today before returning home tomorrow to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers. The Eagles are back on the practice field today for another round of training camp. Special teams coach Michael Clay will speak to the media coming up at 9:40 this morning. This update was brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Got to be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, my name is Phil E. And for most of my sports fan life, I've been suffering from sports.
Here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. ESPN.com, led by Buster Olney. They put together, and David Schoenfield, they put together the 10 most likely players to be traded. Likely. And we've been talking about Stephen Kwan a lot. He is not in the top 10. So here are the players that are most likely to be moved from, according to the team at ESPN, and the teams that they have fits with. Merrill Kelly, starting pitcher with the D-backs, we remember from the NLCS.
Cubs.
He is the number one most likely player to be traded. They have
Cubs
the
or
Cubs,
Mets?
Stros, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, Tigers. They do not have
don't
the
have
Mets
the Mets
on
in on that one.
I do
Okay.
believe the Mets should try to acquire a starting pitcher.
Oh, they're getting a starting pitcher.
I hope that
somewhere.
they don't. Ryan O'Hearn is number 2 on this list. You had the guy text you or tweet you, Ryan O'Hearn. They do not have him
I don't think
with the Phillies.
I don't think the Phillies are doing that.
That's just another left-handed bat.
Right.
And, again, Ricky Bo, because you value his opinion more than mine.
I do.
He and I agree that having an abundance of lefties is not a good thing, unless it's like a guy like Stephen Kwan who can he doesn't count. Number 3 is the combo package of Bednar and Santana, the 2 relief pitchers from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Phillies not one of the teams because they got Duran yesterday. They're not going to trade top capital for another reliever or bunch of relievers. Griffin Jacks, relief pitcher from the Twins, is number 4 on this list. Same goes with the Bednar Santana thing. The Phillies just traded for Duran. They're not going to do that.
And I'm glad they didn't settle for Griffin Jacks.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they went all in. Marcell Ozuna is 5th on this list. The Phillies not mentioned.
I don't believe he's going anywhere, though.
Okay. He's got the 5'10".
I don't think he's going anywhere. Yeah, I think he's going to be a jerk.
Charlie Morton.
He is a jerk.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a jerk.
He's not a good person.
Yeah.
Charlie Morton is 6th on this. The Mets are one of the teams
You
mentioned.
can have him.
You can have him. I hope that they get him.
Can we wish for it?
Yeah.
Can we wish for it? Yeah.
Now,
Father Sean, before you say morning mass, before you say the 9 o'clock mass,
right?
Please
pray for Charlie
Say an
Morton.
intention. Charlie Morton to the Mets.
All right. Now we get to where the Phillies are finally mentioned. So number 7. They have Cedric Mullins, and the Phillies are the number 1 team mentioned, as well as the Mets, Astros, and Padres.
Oh, jeez.
Look, he's a better fielder than Brandon Marsh. The bat is questionable, but he is by far. Did you see the catch he made the other day, by the way?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Okay, there's no questions asked he's better defensively. But he's not better offensively.
Why are you in on Chas McCormick, though, and not Cedric Mullins? They're kind of similar.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm just saying if you can replace one guy on the roster, then you're just saying you're replacing.
Chas McCormick would be the platoon
he'd
guy.
Be getting rid of, if you're getting rid of Rojas and you're adding Chas. I'd rather have Chas McCormick on my roster than Rojas. So to me, if you're adding, I'm just talking about a guy on the roster that would get for a bag of balls that you could get him for. But no.
Coming in at number 8, relief pitcher Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. Their best fit they put pretty much any contender.
It's not going to be us.
I don't know how much he would cost. I doubt it because Dave Dombrowski kind of made that pretty clear. But that's another player to keep an eye on. Here's an interesting name, but it's another lefty. Mike Tauchman, also from the White Sox.
Now the thing is, that is interesting.
But he's just another left-handed bat.
Exactly. But it is interesting.
It's an interesting name. It's just I'm not in on that. And then number 10, Ramon Laureano. Now, by the way, the reason why I even mentioned Tauchman, Phillies were the first team they mentioned.
What about Laureano?
Phillies are the first team they mentioned.
Okay, then there is
every outfielder on this list. The Phillies were the number 1 team.
So Laureano, and that is a Buster Olney piece.
Olney, Schoenfield. It's the team of ESPN.
I really like my information this morning even better. That if Buster Olney's saying it too, then it means that a lot of people are hearing it.
So here's what they wrote, by the way.
Please, Laureano.
Laureano has a reasonable $6.5 million club option for 2026, and given the excellent numbers he's put up, he'll be in demand, but could also return to the Orioles. He's a right-handed alternative to the left-handed outfielders, so could work for a team that needs a righty bat like the Mariners or take over in left field for the likes of Phillies because Max Kepler hasn't been good, is what they say.
And I don't think that now, here's the only thing is, though. Mariners be looking for another right-handed bat? They just got one. They're adding another right-handed bat?
Hey, if they can...
They're looking for... No, but the thing is... Oh, okay, I don't follow the Mariners that closely.
If they
but
can
I didn't think
it.
the Mariners were looking for another right-handed bat.
If they can afford it, Look, this was my whole beef with people last year that said, just stick with what you have because the Phillies are winning a lot of games. You can always get better.
No, I got you. I mean, that's absolutely the truth.
It makes you question how they were even in contention when they had to go out and get a first baseman, now a third baseman /DH, and then another bat.
Yeah, I mean, that would
three
like
holes
to me.
in the lineup. How are they in contention?
That to me is crazy. Even though they've got the cash to spend, they have good ownership.
Yes,
and
they do.
And they packed their park.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they definitely have options.
I'd be surprised if that one's true. Come on, give me Laureano.
Yep. Or
that'd be just wonderful.
3 more names have popped up. So Bob Nightingale is the reporter that going into break, I told you, one of the top reporters mentioned that there is a team that are considered wide open for business. It's the same team that traded with the Mets yesterday, the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals sent Ryan Helsley over to the New York Mets. The Cardinals are wide open for business and have several teams, including the Astros and Phillies, expressing interest. So Bob Nightingale names the Astros and Phillies by name. So here are the 3 players that he has on here. The thing that I question is, once again, all left-handed bats.
Yeah, I don't.
So the first player he mentions, I'm not a fan of his.
Who?
I know he is a fan favorite in St. Louis. I've seen how vibe guys don't necessarily translate to actually being good baseball players. Lars Nootbaar.
No.
Who had a pretty good season for them in 2023, but that's really been about it.
No.
He's a tremendous outfielder, so he would be your starting center fielder. Like,
he would be. Yes.
He overtakes Brandon Marsh. He's hitting 227.
Seriously, he's worse than Brandon Marsh by like 20 points.
Yeah, he's a left-handed bat. Now he's a better fielder, like much better.
No.
The next name they mention, Alec Burleson, who is more so a first baseman. Baseball Reference considers him an outfielder, designated hitter, and first baseman. He's hitting 286, 14 home runs this year.
I'm more interested in Burleson.
But this is where we start having the creative conversation. Does that mean Harper goes to the outfield and he's your right fielder, Castellanos is your left fielder, Schwarber's your DH?
To me, that makes your team's much better.
But it's just, again, it's another left-handed bat.
I got you. But is your team better? Just be honest. What are his splits? Do me a favor, splits.
229 against lefties this year with 2 home runs. Okay. His numbers come against right-handed. So he would be a platoon guy, but who is he platooning with?
There's no platoon, really.
Like, who is he platooning with?
Yeah.
You're not platooning Schwarber. You're not platooning Harper.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Move on from that.
So that one I question. And then lastly, Brendan Donovan.
Okay.
Who can play anywhere, utility guy.
You already have a utility guy.
But he bats left.
Like, you don't want that. No, I don't believe any of that.
Those are 3 guys where I go, all right, they're all okay players. Donovan probably the best, most consistent player of the 3. So he would make the most sense in my opinion. He's hitting 317 against righties, but just 220 against lefties. Like, why would I bring in another left-handed bat? And that's 3 of them. And Bob Nightingale mentions the Phillies by name, actively calling St. Louis.
I don't believe it. Well, remember though, and no knock on Bob Nightingale's a great reporter. He was also the guy who told you you'd have to part with Painter to get. You'd have to part with Painter to get.
Look, we're in silly season right now,
and that was absolutely misinformation.
Yeah, but we also never heard from anyone from Minnesota that you were thinking Duran was off the table yesterday because nobody was.
Well, no, if you're going to be I did not think he was going to go after the game of grab ass the other night. There you go.
Game of crab ass. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line because there are a lot of rumors aflowing, man. That was a busy segment between ESPN, Bob Nightingale. There's so many rumors going on. We'll keep on talking about it. Also, Duran, how good is he? We will go through his numbers for you next because there are people shedding tears over a player that can't legally buy alcohol for another 2 years. All right? Johan Duran is really good. You may not have watched him pitch before. We'll tell you just how good he is next. It's Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now, A Birds Insider Update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Practice is heating up. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Birds Insider Update. Another day of training camp is upon us, and another day for players to earn a role for the Birds. One position that has some roles to sort out is the edge rusher position. Vic Fangio spoke to the media on Tuesday and said he has faith in his top two guys, but after that, there's room for improvement.
I feel good about Nolan, and Jalix is making good strides. After that, we got some heavy competition going on. And, nobody's really truly surfaced yet, good or bad.
Speaking of being comfortable with your top two guys, that goes without saying at the wide receiver position with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But another guy who could see improvement this year is Jahan Dotson. Jalen Hurts spoke to the media on Tuesday as well and said Dotson looks to be doing just that.
You see improvements. It's more so, I think, for him coming in and finding that sense of comfort and where he is with this group. He came in last year very late and was a late addition, and so you never really got to build that chemistry. And I think now he's got a feel and understanding for what he wants to do, how he wants to do it.
Prior to today's practice, special teams coordinator Michael Clay is set to speak to the media in just about an hour at 9:40. And don't look now, we're 1 week away from the Eagles' first preseason game next Thursday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. Eagles on the field again, cannot wait. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
On Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll get to our text messages here in a little bit. But just how good is Johan Duran? So, again, there were people. I'll read you the tweet that I sent to John and Connor and Brendan last night because I laugh at this. I always do the proven versus unknown all the time. You guys know that. Bleep those prospects, trade them away, give me the guys that actually have performed at the major league level and not necessarily the guys that you project to perform at the major league level. I saw a tweet from somebody yesterday. Tait was literally going to be a star catcher of our future. That absolutely sucks that we traded him off. He should have been untouchable, and we gave him up for a guy who will pitch one inning a few times a week. Dude, Eduardo Tait is 18 years old. He could be a great single A, double A, triple A player, and then get to the big leagues and stink. Have we seen that before? Absolutely, we've seen that.
Oh, no, we've never seen that before. An 18-year-old flame out?
No. He may end up being really, really good.
He may. And you know what else we've also seen is the fact that for those of you who are not keeping up with it, he is projected by more scouting services than not to be a first baseman.
Yeah.
Not a catcher.
Some people even say DH.
And so, I mean, he's not – it's like you're taking other people's word on something, and then you read something, and then you're just bogarting. You're like, Polly with a cracker.
Yep.
I read something. Now I'm going to repeat it. You've never seen the 18-year-old play. You know nothing about him.
Yep.
For God's sake.
I'll give you another 18-year-old.
Just stop doing that.
I'll give you another 18-year-old for not long ago. Not that long ago.
Okay.
Remember the name?
You were trouble.
I was one play away. That injury.
Yeah, that one injury.
That one injury away from making it. Remember Jalen Ortiz?
No.
You don't remember Oh, dude.
Jalen Ortiz.
You were still in the ATL.
Okay, give it to me.
Jalen Ortiz was the next. He was in the same class of Fernando Tatis Jr., Vlad Jr.
Oh, okay, in the same group.
That same group.
I didn't know
And
that.
so the Phillies get this 17-year-old. When he turned 19, he hit 18 home runs in his 19-year-old season in A. Lakewood.
Okay, so they're like, okay, this is cool.
The next year, 19 home runs in Clearwater, A-plus ball in 2019.
And you're feeling
so he's
good
20
about
years
it,
old.
right?
He now plays in the Mexican leagues because once he got to Double-A at the age of 21, he walked 38 times and struck out 113 times. In 2022, he got called up to Double-A. He struck out 165 times.
So someone got a book on a young guy, and then he never solved
and
the
he
book.
was a can't-miss guy. Like, he was a, man, this guy's got otherworld power. He's going to be a big part of the lineup, first baseman of the future, from the right side, blah, 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 blah. And now he's not even in a Major League Baseball farm system.
One of my favorite guys in the world, and you hear him on this show constantly during baseball season and everything, Jeff Francoeur.
Mm-hmm.
You can go Google it if you're too young to remember it. Jeff Francoeur stormed onto the baseball scene. He was one of the most dynamic young players in the game. In fact, Sports Illustrated had him on the cover, and it said, The Natural, with Jeff Francoeur. Jeff Francoeur, literally within 3 years, was a journeyman baseball player.
Yeah.
And I love Jeff like a brother. It happens. When you can't solve, when baseball gets that book on you and then they start and you can't solve it, you can still have a very good career and you can still be a player that contributes and everything, but you may not be the star that everybody thinks you're going to be.
Yeah.
And so just beware of what you think you know.
All right, so Johan Duran, he's in his 4th season in Major League Baseball, all of which with the Twins until last night when he gets traded to the Phillies. His rookie season, or his first season with the big league club, he posted a 1.86 ERA in 57 appearances. Year 2, a 2.45 ERA in 59 appearances. Last year was a down year for him.
A down year?
With a 3.64 ERA.
Wow, he'd be a star in this bullpen.
I think I got to double check to see where he would actually stand in this bullpen. With that ERA last year, 3.64 is still a very good ERA for a reliever. and that was his down year. And now this year, he's right back at it with a 2.01 ERA in 49 appearances, 49 and a third innings. He's allowed just one home run this season, 53 strikeouts. His strikeout per 9.7 this year, 10.9 the year before that, 12.1 the year before that. The guy is ridiculous coming out of the bullpen. And again, Eduardo Taiit could become something. We don't know.
Yeah, when he's...
I do know that Johan Duran will come out of the bullpen Friday or Saturday, whenever his first appearance is with the Phillies, and he will get the job done.
I love it. I love the move, but I want more. Yes. I still don't. I feel better about the Phillies' chances to go further in the postseason now. But I got to tell you this. Am I stupid to want a Phillies-Mets series again?
No, you're not stupid.
No. To I sort of want the rematch with the Mets in the postseason.
Eighth inning comes up. You get Soto. You get Alonso. You get Lindor.
Lindor.
You throw in Duran in the eighth?
No. Tell Rob no. Lock him down.
Well, no, Duran could do the 2 innings.
He can do 2 innings.
There you go.
He can, but I'm telling you is that Rob, if he doesn't use him as a regular closer, and you heard Ricky Bo say it too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they better not. He better not complicate things.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Seriously, Rob.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back to our text messages. And are the Phillies winning the division? A lot of you are suspect about this baseball team. Have you been swayed since yesterday? We discuss that next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils get their closer. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Get yours today and start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. Yes, the Phillies acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins yesterday in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect Eduardo Taiit and their 6th-ranked prospect Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA. He has 53 strikeouts in 49 innings pitched, and he has 16 saves on the season as well. His average fastball this season, it's clocking in at 102 miles per hour. We'll see what the Phillies do if they make any other moves prior to today's trade deadline at 6 p.m., if they add a bat or not. As for the game yesterday, the Phils lost 9-3 to the White Sox. They have a day off today before returning home tomorrow to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers. And the Eagles are back on the practice field today for another round of training camp. Special teams coach Michael Clay will speak to the media coming up at 9:40. This update was also brought to you by Audible. If you're stuck in traffic, why not unleash your adventurous side? Audible delivers thrills of all kinds with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start listening for free with a 30-day trial at audible.com. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Phillies Day today on Kincade Salciunas, reacting to the trade of Johan Duran yesterday and what's next for the Phillies, because there has to be a next. They have to add to this lineup if they want to be World Series contenders. Now, Johnny, I asked the question going to the break, did yesterday's trade change the way people think about the division? Maybe I should have gone further. Unless Vegas is speculating that another move will be made. So somebody...
No. Don't go with this.
What?
Because it's AI. Did you get it on Twitter?
Yeah, but then
it's not, because it's not. I'm not seeing it on the sports books.
Yeah, so then I double checked and I went to my FanDuel Sportsbook app and it's confirmed.
Really? I'm looking at Vegas books.
Okay.
I'm not seeing
Well,
it.
I'm a FanDuel man,
Okay,
so
that's good. I'm just looking at Las Vegas and seeing those numbers.
So we were going to talk about the division.
That's all right.
And the Phillies right now on FanDuel are minus 120 to win the NL East. They are the favorites. The Mets right behind them at minus 110. So it's neck and neck.
That's where they were yesterday.
Between these two teams. And I really like what the Mets did with their bullpen. It pains me to say it, but I think they did a great job adding to a bullpen, adding to a strength where they already had Edwin Diaz. But if you go to World Series odds, the Dodgers coming at number 1. The Phillies coming at number 2. And in case somebody is wondering, oh, well, that's National League? No, it's all of baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers are at plus 220, which is crazy. And the Phillies, second at plus 850, just ahead of the Yankees and Mets, both plus 900. The Tigers at plus 1,000. And then the Astros at plus 1,200. They have the 6th best odds in Major League Baseball. So the Phillies, after yesterday's trade, and I'm guessing some of it has to be speculation because this lineup is not
speculative market.
This lineup's not good enough to win the World Series. I'm telling you right now. But if they add a player or two still before this trade deadline today at 6 o'clock,
the odds are going to bump worse. So you might want to move.
Yeah,
make the move now because if the Phillies add a quality bat, I'm seeing right now plus 850 on the strip. I'm seeing plus 900 on the strip. Plus 900 on the strip. So if those numbers go down, like if they get a quality bat, those numbers are going to do like plus 700. So get it now.
What if Ohtani, something actually is wrong with him more than just cramps? Like you don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's pretty interesting.
I don't know. I'd buy it now then. If you're looking for it, buy it now.
By the way, another rumor surrounding Mason Miller. Not for the Phillies, obviously, at this point. But John Heyman, I didn't see this one until just now. It was at 1 o'clock in the morning. That the Padres are working on a deal for Mason Miller.
Oh, jeez. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I don't like that, but there's nothing you can do.
No, there's nothing you can do. But that's another team that's going to be aggressive at the deadline. And I didn't see this yesterday. Mark Kotze, who's the manager of the Athletics, did not use him in a save situation yesterday. And when he was asked why, his answer was Mason was unavailable tonight. That's all I can say.
Really?
So I'm guessing there was something maybe close to being done yesterday, and they did not pitch Mason Miller.
They didn't want him to blow up?
Or they God forbid he gets hurt.
Get injured or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has not pitched since Saturday for the Athletics. So
wow.
It looks like maybe a guy that we all thought was untouchable. Look, depending on the price, right? And the Padres have been one of the more aggressive teams in Major League Baseball over the last couple of years. That's why they've also been one of the teams that have been consistently in playoff
It's so amazing, too, looking today that the top 5 teams in World Series odds are National League teams.
Yeah.
It's a top-heavy National League.
I mean, the Yankees' pitching's terrible. The Tigers have fallen off a cliff.
The Yankees' lineup is terrible other than Aaron Judge. The thing with the American League, are you buying in that the young Tigers can win the World Series? Like, that's a big question.
With that team?
Talent-wise, absolutely. But the young, this will be their second time in the playoffs.
Well,
with
the
this
thing is they could cakewalk to the World Series.
They got
to bounce back.
They also have to overcome the Astros, who are experienced, talented, just injured, but they're aggressive at the deadline.
What are you talking about bouncing back?
They've been on a cold streak as of late.
Yeah, but the Phillies have done the same cold streak. The Mets have done the same cold streak.
Phillies have been there before. The Mets have now been there before. Have these Tigers, can they go on that run to an LCS?
Yeah, I believe they can. That American League is so weak. God, it's weak.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Those numbers are interesting, and they are very fluid right now. If you like the Phillies right now, bet them before they make another trade, because the odds you're never going to get better odds than you get right now.
Yeah.
The plus 850 or plus 900 as it's sitting, you're not going to get better odds. So get it right now when you can.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a BZ Media Station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibility. Yeah, if Mason Miller goes to the Padres, watch out.
Boy, the Padres get really nasty. They're nasty already. But then it's going to be, and that's what's in. Isn't that the song? That's what's in.
That is the song.
Man, that'd be big Joe.
Oh, yeah. No, they would have a pretty damn good bullpen if they acquire him. All right,
they would.
What do we have on the text line, Gunner, as we are now in the 9 o'clock hour, Johnny? That means we are 9 hours away from the MLB trade deadline, 6 o'clock tonight.
Speaking of songs, we got Zach in Florida checking in saying, Duran, I may have watched his entrance more than once, probably 100 times at this point. If Minnesota goes crazy, imagine what it's going to do at the bank. If they had a roof like the Link once, it would be off in a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, it's when he comes out in October for this baseball team, regardless of round, regardless of game, it's going to be electric. And I just can't wait for his first appearance, because that
this
excitement
weekend,
to see him for the first time.
Against a team you could face in the World Series.
Yeah.
So it could be a World Series preview this weekend. That's awesome.
By the way, dude, this weekend,
Saturday,
it's
man.
It's going to be gorgeous.
It's Zach Wheeler versus Tariq Skubal, man.
And what's it going to be?
This Saturday,
78 degrees or something?
Yeah, the weather's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be perfect weather.
You got J-Roll tomorrow night. You got Wheeler and Skubal Saturday. Come on.
You know what, though? Can we have a moment of silence praying for Tom McCarthy? Because this is his hardest weekend of work. Because they have that doorbell. First of all, Nikki Foles would be jumping off the couch.
Oh, yeah, so
constantly.
My dog. Yep.
Because hearing the doorbell, running to the doorbell, thinking it's Mr. Mark at the door. But Tom McCarthy has to herd cats this weekend, trying to do play-by-play, and they set up the lounge. And Tom's trying to call a game, and it's players eating, telling stories from the 80s and the 90s, and they're all eating, and Tom's trying to do a game.
Oh, by the way, it's a great game that it's going to be. With all due respect to the Philadelphia Phillies and Alumni Weekend, I kind of just want to enjoy the game.
Oh, my gosh, it's going to be. Seriously, I think they should put Tom in the outfield and let Tom call the game and have the players and just check in on them on camera. Because this is going to be crazy. Yeah. That's a great game.
It's Flaherty-Suarez game 1. Would like to see a nice bounce back from Suarez. Skubal, Wheeler game 2, and then Troy Melton goes for the Tigers. He's just really started pitching. Sanchez goes game 3. The Phillies have the advantage in the rotation in this series.
Oh, yes, they do.
It's not even close. Skubal, obviously the best arm of the 6 starters, but the Phillies have the advantage in the rotation.
Wait a minute. Is Saturday maybe a Fox game?
Maybe the fastest game of all time as well.
It's NBC Sports Philadelphia has the game.
Could be the fastest.
It's a 4:05 game. That is going to be
wild. Or it's going to be an 8-6 final, because that's just how it seems like it goes.
It's going to be wild. How about this? Can I bet all the overs? I may have to give you my password for my Bet Parks app. Because, 171 strikeouts and 172 strikeouts.
Gilbert.
Seriously here. Come on, nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go wrong.
All right, what else we got on the text line?
We got Antoine in Philly checking in. Sounds like he ate dry cereal this morning or something. If you can't win a series against the White Sox, these trades mean nothing. You got to fix the flaws still today, or it's over.
Oh, really? Antoine. Seriously. Wasn't that the guy's name in Beverly Hills Cop? Seriously, come on now. Antoine, you gotta chill out. You need a little Metamucil.
Yeah, look.
Little Metamucil might help that mood.
As I said earlier, every Phillies player should thank Dave Dombrowski for the trade yesterday, because it made us forget it made us not focus so much on dropping 2 of 3 to the White Sox. But to say losing 2 to 3 to the White Sox is why they're not going to do anything and they shouldn't acquire players is just crazy.
That's dumb.
Again, this series that you're about to watch with the Tigers, Suarez, Wheeler, Sanchez, those are your 3 starters in the playoffs. With all due respect to Taijuan Walker, who keeps taking the ball, I give him credit. Jesus Luzardo, those aren't your guys. These are your guys. This is a series where you go, all right, everybody's up for it, too. The players have to be up for it. Players may have sleptwalked their way through the White Sox series. Not that they should, but this is a series at home, Citizens Bank Park. Players wanted big moves. They got a big one yesterday. We imagine more moves to happen today. Look, this is the series where we start having conversations, not the White Sox series. Though I get it, it's embarrassing that they lost.
Can I put you through a little exercise here? Who did the Phillies lose to last year in the postseason?
The Metropolitans.
They lost to the New York Metropolitans. You know what their record was when they woke up last July 31st? The team they lost to, you can't win the postseason. They're the Mets who went to the NLCS.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets were 7 games over 500 on this date last year. So just lighten up, Francis, if I can just be as polite as possible.
Yeah.
Just chill out a bit.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the Phillies right now are doing just fine. They're 14 games over 500. They're double where the Mets were this time last year, as far as record wise. They're 14 games over 500 instead of 7. So just breathe. It's okay.
It was an embarrassing series.
It was a terrible,
Absolutely
embarrassing series.
series.
But to make proclamations about what teams are on July 31st in the morning is crazy town. You don't know. And by the way, the energizing nature of trades sometimes changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes moods. It changes energy.
Oh, by the way, and again, this shouldn't be an excuse, but think of the human element of it. How many players on the roster were thinking, all right, could I be on the move? Obviously, like Bryce Harper didn't. But
well, till tonight at 6 o'clock, they're going to be listening to Unfiltered.
Yes.
Like, they're going to be nervous.
Look, we talked about Nick Castellanos. Not that I think he gets traded, but
he's got to be. You got your eye on it, like going, could I be moved?
I be the guy that if they're doing this and that,
might I be moved?
Yeah,
like with 1 year left on his contract after this year, and with Nick's numbers, there could be some team that says, "Oh, I'll take Nick Castellanos."
Yeah. So,
and by the way,
that could be a part of it.
He's had enough playoff moments. Ask the Braves.
Well, that's why I don't want him to.
I don't want him going anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't want it. But I could be talked into it in the offseason.
Right.
Depending on how this thing goes.
All right, coming up next, Phillies not off the table, but imagine never winning a championship but questioning the legitimacy of one. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day?
Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, it is 9:12 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Getting closer and closer to the Major League Baseball trade deadline, 6 o'clock today. Make sure you're listening all day. Mike Missanelli show with Ray Dunn from 10 to 2, as more and more rumors will be flowing. As we're reacting to rumors that are happening at 9 o'clock in the morning. I can only imagine when the West Coast teams are waking up, how many more rumors happen during the midday slot. And then, of course, Unfiltered with Bill and Ricky and Silvana taking you up until the trade deadline right at 6 o'clock. And then Kevin Cooney will react to it with Philly Sports Tonight afterward with the special trade deadline edition.
Now, none of you spoiled brats were alive. But do you remember, if I said to you Bananarama, does it mean anything to you?
No.
Bananarama
It's
had
a song, right?
Bananarama. No, they were a band. They had a great hit, though. I think that was their hit. I'm saying 86, 87. I heard a rumor, and I think Ray should pull it up. Because Mike will remember the song. Mike will hate it because he's a music snob a little bit. But Bananarama had a great song, I Heard a Rumor, in 1987. I think it should be whenever if something comes across, Ray should hit it. It'll drive Mike nuts every time because it's one of those bubblegum songs that just will drive Mike crazy. So, Ray, do it at your own risk.
Bananarama.
Sure. It's a great song, though. I heard a rumor. Good song.
Speaking of rumors, apparently nobody cares about the Bubble Championship, including Daryl Morey.
Okay, tell me this.
All right, so Daryl Morey did an interview with The Athletic.
Okay.
About the NBA, right? Daryl Morey's good with his time when it comes to
He is. He's very, very good about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes hides whenever we need him, but whatever.
Okay, but whoa. Okay.
So I don't even know how the conversation started, but they were talking about the Bubble Championship when he was still a member of the Houston Rockets. I think he wasn't kicked out of the league yet, or you know what happened. I think he was still with the Rockets at the time. Daryl Morey, quote, had the Rockets won the title, I absolutely would have celebrated as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees that it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Wait a minute.
So I know there's a lot of jokes about the Mickey Mouse title, right? Because that was in the bubble at the Disney resort and all that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute. Seriously, why is Daryl commenting on? And I'm a fan of Daryl's personally.
Yes.
But why is Daryl commenting on the Lakers who won a championship?
That's my thing. If this was somebody who's won multiple, it's like Pop. If Greg Popovich said something like that.
Right. Or if
that's me and you and John saying it's not real. It's like bar banter.
Right.
You can't say that.
No.
And by the way, he's never won.
You can't do that.
Steve Kerr and the Warriors said, yeah.
Seriously,
bubble championship.
Right. I mean, wow. No. You can't do that.
You've never won, Daryl.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the message in my mind's not far off. Like Anthony Davis doesn't play if that finals is in June. He was hurt.
Right.
Comes back, wins it later on. But Daryl Morey can't be the one passing that message off.
Oh, wow. I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah, so you didn't see this? Yeah, I saw it.
No, I didn't see that. That's bad.
And I knew I was going to bring it up at some point on the show today.
Oh, no.
Had the Rockets won the title, I absolutely would have celebrated as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet, everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees that it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship.
Daryl, there's an old expression, and you can use it for guys or girls. If you're too ugly to go to the prom, don't make fun of the person who got asked. You can use it both ways. You don't make fun of the person when you see their prom pictures and go, yeah, oh, did you get it? Oh, no, I didn't get asked. Shush.
You can't qualify it either. I would have celebrated. It would have been real if I won it. But since it's another team, it's not real?
You can't do that. Wow, I'm really surprised by that.
Come on, Morey.
Daryl, less. Less is more.
Come on, Daryl.
Less is more. It really is.
All right, latest rumor.
Okay, what? I heard
Bananarama.
a rumor.
This is from Mark Feinsand.
Find Bananarama for me. I got to hear it once.
This is from Mark Feinsand.
Who's that?
He's a
I probably read him before.
Big baseball guy.
Big baseball
MLB
guy.
Network, MLB.com.
Fine sand.
Yeah.
They have fine sand down in Destin. Really fine sand.
Luis Robert Jr.
Don't tell me.
Is one of the main trade candidates to watch today.
What's he, 202?
See, you do the...
He's in 202.
There's a bidding war.
Oh, please.
Mets, Phillies, and now the Padres have emerged as a team to watch. San Diego seems motivated to add an outfielder today. So Padres, Mets, and Phillies seem to all be in on the conversation surrounding Luis Robert Jr. Even though you poof at it, there are teams that would value trading maybe not much for a guy with upside. The only problem is the White Sox have made it pretty clear, according to reports, that it can't be like some mid-prospect. Well, he's a below-average player at this point, so what more do you really want, Chicago?
Wow. I can't imagine. Well, first of all, I can't imagine a bidding war for a guy hitting 2-0 something.
Upside, baby.
Oh, yeah, upside. Stop it.
They think that if they get him out of that situation.
Oh, yeah. Then he'll finally be a professional? Yeah. That's not for me.
Maybe.
No. Yeah.
Not for you, but it might be for other people.
Why have you been really slacking off for 2.5 years? Well, I haven't been with a really good organization, but if I get to your organization, I'm going to come to work really prepared, and I'm going to bust my ass every day to show you what I'm about. I'd be like, okay, I'm done. You're never coming to my organization because you're not a professional. You know who I want? I want Mason Miller. I want guys who are great. I want guys who bust their backsides every day for organizations that know they can't win, who go out there. I want Paul Skeens. I want guys, this is such a lame-ass excuse, and I can't believe people even trot it out.
If it's just a rental player, though, you don't have to commit to this guy a long time.
I'm not giving anything up for him. Honestly, if you tell me a low-level prospect, yeah, but if it's bidding war type stuff, forget it.
Yeah, okay.
Forget it.
Okay.
He can walk here.
All right, coming up next, what is still up Dave Dombrowski's sleeve? We have audio that
he was wearing short sleeves yesterday.
We have audio that we played earlier in the show. Can he make another home run trade like he did last night for Johan Duran? What is the mindset of Dave Dombrowski? You will hear from him coming up next as we are getting closer and closer to the 6 o'clock trade deadline today. We talk about it next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils get their closer, and I'm getting John his Bananarama for the next segment. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies acquired relief pitcher Johan Duran from the Minnesota Twins yesterday in exchange for their 4th-ranked prospect, Eduardo Tait, and their 6th-ranked prospect, Mick Abel. This season, Duran has a 2.01 ERA. He has 53 strikeouts in 49 innings and 16 saves on the season. His average fastball this season, it's clocking in at 102 miles per hour. We'll see if the Phils make any other moves before today's trade deadline at 6 p.m. this afternoon. Dave Dombrowski says they'll try to add a bat, but it may not be possible.
Well, we're not done. We're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire, too, right now. So we have to kind of just see what happens tomorrow, really.
In case you forgot they had a game yesterday, I'm sure the Phils did too. They lost 9-3 to the White Sox. They have a day off today before returning home to begin a series against the Detroit Tigers tomorrow. The Eagles are back on the practice field for another round of training camp today. Special teams coach Michael Clay is set to speak to the media in 20 minutes at 9:40. This update was brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Bunny. Get yours today for to start off your day right. Get Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best birds coverage.
ESPN, hey, we need you to do 10 to 12. You available? You got it, guys.
I'll be there.
So
right?
we will wrap this show up.
Like this 10 to 12,
Yes,
like in
yeah.
20.
Like in 10 minutes.
Not PM.
So we're going to wrap
Yes.
up this show, and I'm going in blind.
No, you're not.
No, they'll send me a rundown sheet, and
You'll be ready to go.
We'll see how it goes.
Look, you're a professional.
But, of course, I want you to listen to the Mike Missanelli Show with the great Ray Dunn as they get closer
If you
to
say
the MLB
kiddos,
trade
though,
deadline.
You deserve a throat punch.
Yeah, I'm filling in for Clinton.
If you say
Clinton and friends, what up, kiddos?
If you say
the hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
No, you don't say kiddos.
I'm
Don't
not,
do that.
I won't drop. Well, I don't want to steal his thing.
Yeah, please, because nobody wants to steal that thing.
I don't want to steal. No, I would steal it.
Kiddos.
Oh, that. Look.
Get into the W.
No, I would imagine we're getting into the trade deadline today. I would hope that we're getting
If you
into
do
the
any
trade
W
deadline
talk
today.
too, banned.
Well, we'll see.
The W.
See, man.
Nobody calls it the W.
I talked W last weekend.
Hey, man.
We talked about.
Hey, man, did you see the W last night?
Me and Mia O'Brien. We talked about the W last weekend.
I love Mia, but come on.
We talked about the Aces being a super team that's not
Man.
playing well this year.
I pulled up the Dunkin'
And
Donuts.
I quickly made the comparison to like the Suns because that's kind of more my lane, like the NBA.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
like
know.
it's like everybody's lane. That's like the offshoot everybody wants.
Oh,
Give it to them. Give them what they want. Trade deadline today and some NFL.
hell yeah! Well, look, I'm not.
don't talk
I'm not
about the
producer.
Cowboys.
I'm not the producer of the show.
Well, come on now.
Man.
What,
All
do we,
right.
what do we know about producers? Just overruled.
That they're the voice of reason.
Yeah, please.
All right, let's play some audio for you from Dave Dombrowski. They make the trade for Johan Duran yesterday, but obviously the trade deadline is today at 6 o'clock, so it is not done yet. Here's Dave Dombrowski talking about the trade itself and a player that he would not include.
Well, I mean, we like quite a few closers, or quite a few relievers. There weren't very many available as time went on. Some of the other organizations decided to not make some moves, so we just thought he was the best guy out there, really, is what it came that was available to be acquired. A lot of clubs have been talking about if we were going to acquire their closer, that they were asking for Andrew Painter. We decided that we weren't going to trade Andrew in this trade, and so we felt this was a deal that we got a dominant closer for a tough price, two good players, but something that we think where we are makes sense.
So you hear him say that teams did call for Andrew Painter. So, like, that wasn't necessarily inaccurate reporting. It's just that was maybe the initial asking price that teams wanted Painter. And Dombrowski's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. And so they end up getting the top closer on the market. Because if you remember, Clase was one of the top guys. He's being investigated for gambling. Aroldis Chapman was available, but the Red Sox are now 5 back of the Blue Jays for first place of the AL East, and they are the still third wild card spot in the American League. So they weren't going to part ways with their top reliever. So Duran, who was always the top guy, it was just whether or not he was available. It's either him or Mason Miller, depending on how you view each pitcher. The Phillies get him, and they give up 2 top 10 prospects, but one who we've already seen, and who knows what his future is in Mick Abel, and one in a kid who's 18 years old. Like, that's a great move.
It's a great trade. And by the way, now I've seen a second outlet now describing it as an A for the Phillies.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer. For people that are still, like, hanging on to this Eduardo Tate thing, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Well, here's what they don't get. They know nothing about him. They know nothing. And he's not projected to be a catcher. So the minute that I read from them that you traded your catcher in the future, okay, already, out, done. You don't know what you're talking about because the majority of scouts don't believe he's going to be a catcher. They think he's going to be, as you said, and I hadn't read the things. Then I read more. DH or first baseman.
Yeah.
So in other words, they think he has diminishing returns behind the plate. The bat they do like, but he's been holding, how about this? He's been keeping his head above water at A-ball at 18.
Yeah,
which by the way, no, but that's not, at A-ball at 18, that's not, it's tough. That's a tough jump. You're going high school A-ball type player. It's a challenge.
Yeah, so are the other guys that are going from high school to A-ball.
There you go.
Let's be honest.
There you
All
go.
right, Dombrowski continued. He talked about the preference of having players with more years of control.
That would always be the preference. The difference is the acquisition price. I mean, we're willing to pay a little bit more of the price than we would not have paid this price for a rental. So that's what really is a difference for us. So not only this year, but 2 more years, 2 more seasons after this. So if we were talking a pure rental, we would not have traded these players for that.
And look, that's. I feel like that makes total sense.
So what it tells me is he would not have traded players like this, and these were the ones that were available for a rental.
For a rental, yes.
Okay. So what it tells me is they're out on rentals. So anybody the Phillies are looking at today.
Well, they'd get a rental, but it's just not for. They would not trade a top prospect.
Right. Well, yeah. So you're out on. They're out on any big name rentals, but a Stephen Kwan's not a rental. I don't think they're getting Kwan. I see Bill Colarulo's dreaming of Kwan. I don't think they're in on Kwan. And I'm looking at the Cleveland again this morning, and they're talking about they want now, because of what's going on with their bullpen. They're looking for a young pitcher with bullpen-type potential upside within the next 2 years. They're looking for potential starting pitching option, and they're looking for a young bat that could be years away. That's what they're shopping for. I don't think the Phillies have it. I don't think the Phillies have what they're looking for to get him. But that's fine because they definitely could have what Baltimore's looking for or what some other team's looking for. So keep looking and listen in this afternoon. Mike Missanelli and, of course, on Unfiltered as we count you down to the trade deadline, which is now just 8.5 hours away.
I love it. What's off the list after acquiring Duran is probably bullpen help. Here was Dombrowski on that yesterday.
Are you still looking for bullpen help? Or do you
This is it. No, I mean, if somebody puts somebody who's so good on here, but between Duran, we've got Robertson coming, and we're pleased with his progress. We have Kirkering from the right-hand side, and then with Strom and Banks. We feel very comfortable where we are. And I'm going to talk to Topper. He'll talk more about him. He's a legitimate closer. So we feel he'll fit into that role for us.
I know we asked Ricky Bowe earlier about whether or not he thought they should add more bullpen help. He was okay with them being done. He said no. I would still, because here's the deal, and he said, to Ricky's point, they think they have something in David Robertson. That's where I will not agree with the Phillies saying, oh, you think you got someone with David Robertson? Okay.
Well,
what if his 88-mile-an-hour fastball is just not going to cut it in the playoffs?
Here's what I'm going to say, and I heard a great conversation the other day with Mike and Ray. We're talking about it on the Mike Missanelli show. And Mike was saying to him, Mike was getting into this whole discussion about guile. And it was really interesting because Mike's like, the Phillies, it's okay to have 1 or 2 guys in your bullpen that get by on guile, that get by on like old man craftiness.
Tanner Banks.
But you need guys who can throw heat. And that's what Mike was looking for. And Ray was saying to him, he goes, but David Robertson was still effective last fall. It's not like the guy was a tomato can last fall. I don't believe he just fell off. Like I do believe there's a great chance that he could still give them something.
I'm just curious, how is it going to look when he is not pitched? I know, I'm sure he has been pitching.
That may be a benefit. You never think that might be a benefit, though?
It could be, but we just talked about Wheeler's last start. Did he get thrown off from not being on 5 days?
And he hates that.
Like David Robertson has not pitched in a Major League Baseball game since, let me see here.
Been a while.
It was last season. He has not pitched in a Major League Baseball game since September of last year.
Right.
September 29th of last year.
It's been a while.
We'll see. I'm not going to rely on that. I don't want the Phillies to rely on that. Is all I'm saying.
You don't want them to rely on that. We also had some people checking in on the text line. Are they going to rely on some of these guys they drafted? I personally don't think so, but what do you guys think?
There's
not this year.
I can't imagine Gage Wood. I know the day he got, I still remember our YouTube chat, love you YouTube, buzzing this morning. How come you guys aren't talking Gage Wood today?
No.
Because why should I? He got drafted, that's great. And we probably won't see him for 2 years.
They're not talking about him this year. Dave Dombrowski would be talking about Gage Wood right now if he was really an option. They'd be talking about him, and we're going to see what Gage Wood could do. Maybe he'll be up here. They're not talking about it.
Right.
It was something that, again, writers and sports talk radio were talking about.
I don't remember writers.
I did.
I remember seeing that anywhere.
Absolutely, yes. There were writers locally that talked about it. Could he be a part of this bullpen this year? Absolutely, it was written about, and it was talked about.
I have not seen him.
But
he's not pitched yet.
No, exactly. It was never going to be a thing.
Wait, so there's people that think a kid that has not pitched since whenever his last
Yes. Well, he went right down. Now he's in Clearwater now. He's in with the Threshers right now.
Yeah, but he's not pitched in a game yet.
Right, exactly. No, he's just down there.
He's working
in the academy.
Yeah,
he's in the lab.
Yeah, I don't believe. I don't
think that's happening. Yeah.
All right. Lastly, here was Dombrowski talking about adding a bat, but he was asked if there was a preference to the right side.
If you do need a bat, does it need to be right-handed?
Well, need to be, I can't say it needs to be. I mean, but that's more of a preference.
He says it's more of a preference. So for the Stephen Kwan stuff, left-handed bat. So it doesn't need to be a right-handed bat, but he does prefer a right-handed bat.
I'm glad to hear that.
Even though earlier this year, Dombrowski said that he doesn't care about lineup construction and all that's a little overrated. Remember that?
Yes.
Is this your song?
I heard a rumor. Yes. Mike would love this. If Ray just has that, if Ray could just play this for Mike every time a rumor comes across.
If Ray has that guile in the producer studio,
he better have the guile because Mike may just I think Mike probably spun this a few times. He probably had the 45 of it. I heard a rumor.
He used to do music. Maybe he did.
Mike did the morning show on MMR, right?
Yeah, so maybe he hit the post with this song.
Mike might have liked this. A little Bananarama. Well, what year? This was probably around 86, something like that. Late college.
You're
this
asking
was late
me like
college.
I may have any sort of input.
This was late college. I could see Mike being into this one. He's playing this one up big.
Bananarama, 80s?
Yeah. 87.
Okay, 87. Okay, there you go. There you go. Mike will be spinning some tunes on the 2s and the 10s.
All right, coming up next, we'll get some more of your text messages. We'll update you on every rumor that's coming our way today. And, of course, we have the Key 3 all here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know...
Man, when the Mike Missanelli show starts at 10 o'clock, we'll be 8 hours away from the MLB trade deadline where rumors are just flowing left and right all over Major League Baseball about players that are available, players that could become available, teams that are in on certain players. The Bob Nightingale report from earlier that he mentions the Phillies and Astros by name as two teams that are constantly calling the Cardinals, the names that they mention, Lars Nootbaar, Alec Burleson, and Brendan Donovan. If I had to pick any of the three, Donovan would be my choice. It's just they're all left-handed hitters. And you heard Dave Dombrowski say in that clip in the previous segment that the preference would be from the right side.
I'm glad to hear that.
Now, here's the thing with Brendan Donovan. we talked about this a couple of times this week. If they're not totally in love with Bryson Stott, why wouldn't you think about it? I'm not saying
I
go
would think
out
about
there
it right now.
But, like, he plays – Brendan Donovan can play second. He can play corner infield. He can play outfield. Like, he's a utility guy, right? And I know you said earlier we already have that in Sosa, but he's a left-handed bat. Like, what – are we so sure that Stott's, like, a lock in their plans?
I don't think he is. If he is in their plans, I question the plan. If he is in their long-term plans, I question the plan. What more do you have to see that you know he's not an answer long-term?
Like,
he's just not.
I know this is going to be hard for people to stomach, right? Because people love Bryson Stott. And, like, I understand what Connor's points has been. Like, there's bigger issues right now than second base. But what if you can fix the big issues? Duran, Laureano, let's go with him. And then you still have ammo to acquire somebody that improves your team. Because let's face it, Brendan Donovan is an improvement to Bryson Stott, at least offensively. Stott, I believe, is the much better second baseman.
He's a better defensive player.
But you go from a guy that's hitting, what is Stott hitting nowadays? Just over 200?
220?
He's hitting 233. You go from a 230, and that's gone up, by the way.
Yes,
because
it has gone up.
1 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 3. So he's 3 for his last 11, and that raised his batting average to 233. Brendan Donovan's hitting 285.
There it is. It's not that big a difference, but
50 points is a big difference.
245, I thought you said.
No, he's in 285.
Okay, you said 45.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
no,
I said it
he's
wrong.
hitting 285.
285, that's a big difference.
Now, his problem is 220 against left-handed pitching.
Right.
So,
and I don't want another platoon because you got to get. I can get by with my platoon right now. I'll worry about something else. I will worry about something else the rest of the way because I can get by with my platoon.
Does that take Sosa out of the lineup more often than not, and that's also part of the equation?
Unless he still platoons, or he's part of the trade, which could be a possibility.
So now we got Ken Rosenthal reporting Shane Bieber is
Just saw it.
to the Blue Jays.
To the Blue Jays, which that's great.
So now he's not going to the Cubs and he didn't go to the Mets.
Like that, I was scared because Shane Bieber, in case people don't know, he's coming off of Tommy John.
Bieber.
And Bieber he's been doing rehab starts recently, and he's pitching really well in his rehab starts. I would have been terrified if Bieber went to the Cubs, who desperately need starting pitching, or the Mets, who it's not as desperate, but it would be like an embarrassment of riches that they had another good, talented player. The fact that he goes to the Blue Jays, that's huge.
Remember, you have 7 left with the Mets. You got 7 games left with the Mets that you got to navigate. And you are right now a half game. You played one less game than the Mets, and you're a half game behind them. So you have 7 games to determine this division, 3 at New York, and then 4 at Philly. So you could have faced Shane Bieber in 2 of those games.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a win-win. Now, to me, Zach Gallen's the next one that I don't want to see end up with the Mets. I don't want to see Zach Gallen end up with the Mets.
Yeah.
And the Cubs are looking to get Zach Gallen, supposedly.
Now, Sandy Alcantara is another guy to still like. There's starting pitchers that are available that scare me going to the Cubs and Mets.
By the way, the Miami paper has Sandy Alcantara as the Phillies are the 5th team listed.
Well, you talked
I
about
said
it
yesterday. I'm crafty with that. I would love to grab Sandy Alcantara.
Could you imagine if he's?
I would love to think about it. Why not?
Because you said it in the story that it was they weren't looking for.
They're not looking for somebody who's like. They're not looking for right away. They're not looking for somebody right away to make a splash, and they are looking to move on. And look, it's not for this year. That's not for this year. And if you can get him, what if you got Sandy Alcantara and he's pitching 1 inning for you this year? Come on. Who's not in on that? And then next year, he's part of your rotation when Ranger leaves?
Yeah, because you have him under control. It's a club option in 2027, and then he's a free agent.
Right, you're feeling good about that. And then you already got your closer. I mean, and you're getting more of those guys. And going back to that conversation I keep referring to that Mike and Ray had the other day, you're relying less on guile, and you're getting more guys who can throw heat. I'm telling you, If Sandy Alcantara is
I would be really surprised, but it would be a fun surprise.
Oh, that'd be a fun surprise. He's the 5th team listed. Phillies are the 5th team.
How about that? All right, what do we got on the text line, Gunner, as we're getting closer and closer to the 10 o'clock hour, which would mean 8 hours till the trade deadline?
Yeah, we got Chris in Philly checking in, saying anyone who thinks this trade is anything but great for the Phils is purely a Phillies fan who doesn't pay attention to any other teams. They gave up Abel, who's at number 3 at best, and a catcher who's not going to be up here until 6 years from now. So possibly you get the best closer in baseball, if not top 3. What are you complaining about?
Well, and the funny thing is, the guy's right saying you probably just watch the Phillies and nobody else. But I also know that same person that only watches the Phillies and nobody else is not watching the Clearwater Threshers. Like, they don't know who Eduardo Taid is.
They have no idea who he is.
I'm sure there are some people that heard his name for the first time yesterday and still found a way to be upset about it.
Or they're calling him Tate.
Yeah, right.
I've heard a couple callers on the station last weekend.
I can't believe they're getting rid of Tate.
They're getting rid of Tate?
John Heyman's tweet actually tweeted out they traded Abel and Tate. T-A-T-E. Spelled his name wrong.
Well,
at least that was the misspell.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one.
Could have added an N in there.
Here's a good one from Moni Mo. Moni Mo says, John, if Ray Dunn plays Bananarama today, Mikey Miss is going to do an Elin Woods and take a 5-iron to Ray, and then he's going to come hunting for you. So no,
well, you'll be long gone. You're
I'll
going
be
on
gone.
You're going on vacation after this.
Mikey won't be able to find me with this 5-iron, and Mike's good with the 5-iron, from what I hear. He's got the 5-iron, one of his better clubs. So I'd be careful with that. Ray's feisty enough to do it though. He's going to play some Bananarama for Mike. He's playing it today.
All right, what else we got?
We got more negative stuff coming in from Philly Porty. Happy for the trade. Now all we got to do is have a lead to save in the first place. Facepalm emoji.
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
All right. I understand that the Phillies have done this to themselves, that kind of reaction. Here's what I will say. Keep in mind that Alec Boehm has been out with an injury. I'm not the biggest Boehm fan. I make that pretty clear. But he's better than Otto Kemp. So
he is definitely better.
He'll be back. At some point, I firmly believe that they will acquire an outfielder that can replace Max Kepler, who we all are done with, right? And I'll reread the lineup that I just jotted down. Turner, Harper, Boehm, Schwarber, Castellanos, JT, Laureano, Stott/Sosa, the platoon, and Crawford, who could come up. And if that's your lineup, that's a lot better than what you saw yesterday. I will once again go through yesterday's lineup. I don't care that Kepler wasn't in it. The lineup for a World Series contender following Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos cannot be Marsh, Kemp, Stott, Rojas, Marchand.
Can't be. Can't be. Just can't be.
So the lineup that I wrote down is 50,000 times better than the lineup that you saw last night. And that is by adding one player and by getting a player back from injury. That's all. All right, it's 9:48. Time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3. 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3. Today's best.
That is why you make trades, John Kincade, because I watched the Phillies last night give up 7 runs out of the bullpen. Lazars, Seth Johnsons, Jordan Romanos, they can all go sit down because I have my new arm coming out of the pen, Johnny. Gunner, hit it. I need to hear it.
Let's hear it.
I need to hear Johan Duran coming out of the bullpen. 45,000 screaming lunatics. I don't know the words yet, Johnny. I need some more time.
Let's sing it.
Woo! What
Gunner.
move last night by the Phillies.
High school Spanish coming back.
See.
Johan Duran, acquired by the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday, the 100-plus mile-per-hour fireballer. The Phillies did not have to give up Andrew Painter yesterday. Or Justin Crawford or Aiden Miller.
Yes.
Yesterday, the trade for Johan Duran. Again, the 100-mile-an-hour fireballer that comes out of the pen in October for you. The closer for the Philadelphia Phillies. They traded Mick Abel, who we obviously saw at times this season come up with the Phillies. I imagine that you are totally fine with him being traded after one point being a hang up the phone call guy.
For Duran, if he had went in a deal for Suarez, I would not be. I would not be happy this morning. for a rental player that you had for 6 weeks, well, 8 weeks, I would not be happy. For a closer that you control for the next 2 years that you potentially get for 3 postseasons, damn right I'm happy. You've gone through a minute diatribe. You're all excited. You're bouncing off the walls.
Yes.
You haven't used the important word yet.
Closer.
Yes. Closer. We got a closer. The last pitcher to pitch in a game.
Yep.
Finally. And by the way, what's great too is, once again, you didn't have to go all in.
Dude,
you didn't have to go all in. So all those reports were fake. Every report that told you don't give up Painter, not getting Duran, they were fake. And I told you for at least 2 weeks we've been talking the trade deadline, and I told you what a baseball executive had told me. When I was saying, well, what if you had to give up Painter and what? You're talking too high. That's not the price. The Phillies are reportedly sniffing down I-95 for a right-handed bat. That's what I got, because it's very cryptic, and it's somebody well-connected. The same person who assured me, and if you listened to the show last week, assured me that any talk of Andrew Painter to get Duran was absolutely a joke. And I boldly went with it. He said, you don't have to give up Painter to get Duran. That is sports talk radio talking. That's reporters on TV talking. That's not what the price tag is going to be. And it ended up being true. I got to tell you, I was hearing those reports the last couple days, I was thinking, man, that was wrong information. I was thinking I got some bad information. Ended up being
accurate, man.
Let's hope this information's right, because if it's Laureano, man, he's another one. I'll drive and get him.
They're not done yet. Dave Dombrowski told us that. They better not be done yet. But he did make it seem like they're done with the bullpen. I really hope they get like one more arm. I don't need it to be the Bednar.
It's not going to be Bednar.
But I need a guy that I can trust. And right now, again, this is their word, not mine. I can't trust David Robertson like they do. Like, they are like, yeah, man, he's looking really good against AAA batters. I'm not there yet. All right, that is the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show, Johnny. What are you feeling, man? We're almost out of here. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling, how about this? It brings us back to the start of yesterday's show. Now I'm excited. Yesterday I was anxious.
Yeah.
Now I've moved to excitement, because I don't believe Dave Dombrowski made that move yesterday to let us down today with no move coming. Something's coming today. What it is, I don't know, but I think he's going to be bold and beautiful today.
Yeah, I mean, that was a win-now move yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Even though you have Duran under control, it's the best of both worlds, right? Win-now mode that also carries over a couple of years. If you remember, Jason Stark, when he was on with the Mike Missanelli show, he's on every week, but a couple of weeks ago, he talked about the dream scenario trade, the Buxton and Duran, right, where he would give up a bunch for those players. The reason was so that you could have those players for not just this year's pennant race, but for pennant races in 26 and 27. You would make that move for Duran. You have him for these 3 years. You add another piece. We're talking about a red October that we're excited for.
I love it. It's so exciting. It's going to be awesome. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Hey, FT Young Heating and Air Conditioning made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. You can do the same. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR, because cancer research saves lives. Oh, tonight, Port Charles versus Genoa City on Celebrity Family Feud tonight.
Oh, dude, that's the thing that I'm most excited for.
So after the trade deadline, GH.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Versus the Young and the Restless on Celebrity Family Feud. I already know who won, but it's going to be fun.
I was worried they would be competing with one another.
No. They are. They're going against each other.
No. The trade deadline.
No, trade deadline. They purposely waited 2 hours. Steve Harvey said, I'm not going up against the trade deadline.
Enjoy your time off.
Kevin Cooney will be there.
You're back Tuesday.
Amy
Fadul will be in for you Friday and Monday.
And no post-show headlines today for those post-show headline fans, but tomorrow you will do the listener question.
Yes, because I have ESPN Radio in 6 minutes. Mike Missanelli Show comes your way next. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Talk to you tomorrow here on 9.